Fighting customer value.
And Dial Electric Supply,
Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier.
And now let's go to Edward Skippadia Stadium on the campus of Farrington High School. Here's play-by-play announcers Paul Brecht and Michael Lascaro.
Hello and welcome to Skippadia Stadium. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro with you for game number 2 of some doubleheader Friday night football action as Rancho Mirage High School out of California visits Farrington High School, the number 5 team in the most recent Scoring Live Power Rankings. One more time, Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro getting ready to bring you all the action today. And Michael, what a fun one we have in store for the second game of the night.
For sure. I think there was 19 total games where Hawaii teams are playing against teams from the mainland or the continent. And so far, our record as a collective isn't that good going against these teams from the mainland. I think yesterday Pro City played a team from Colorado and that score was 83-6, but hopefully Farrington can get a W against the Rancho Mirage Rattlers from California.
Yeah, got a fun one in store as Farrington, a team on the rise under first-year head coach Mike Lafaele. Over on the other side under Larry Matthews, the defending and for the first time Desert Empire League title champions Rancho Mirage visiting here today for game number 2 of 2 at Farrington High School. And Michael, before we step aside for the opening kickoff, what are you looking forward to most as a question to be answered today for Farrington High School?
I think for Farrington, they've done a really good job on defense, holding teams to just 2 touchdowns. I want to see if they can continue to maintain that against a team from the continent. You know, they played Kapa'a from Kauai, and they played Tafuna from American Samoa. Now you play a team from the continent, and there's a different level of play that you need to rise to.
And when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in Hawaii at highschoolofficials.com.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
Don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at smokeybear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Aloha, beautiful people. Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ule Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lascaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
Your home for USC Trojans football. KGU AM K236CR Honolulu is the Hawaii Sports Radio Network on 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Farrington High School. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro getting ready to bring you the action of Game 2 of 2 tonight as the Rancho Mirage Rattlers from California get ready to take on number 5 Farrington, the Governors. under the lead of first-year head coach Mike Lafayette. And Michael, over the first 2 weeks of the season for Farrington, it's been domination in a lot of ways, and they've been doing it not just defensively but offensively as well, with that old ground and pound type of play style, but not too much, right? This balanced offense for Farrington, even with a high-quality rushing attack.
Yeah, with running back Kingston Solovi Samuelu, he's been the bell cow for Farrington. And Farrington always has a really great running back. I don't know where this guy came from, but he is definitely another good Farrington running back. And the quarterback transferring from Campbell in Donnie DJ Faavi, he was Jaren Kiabe-Sangaputele's backup. He was actually pretty respectable when he did get some time, but look, not many quarterbacks in the state of Hawaii is going to play over Jaren, so he took a chance on himself, and now he is the starting quarterback for Farrington Governors, which is a very upstart team. Now, we mentioned earlier that I want to see how Farrington performs defensively, because Rancho Mirage has weapons on the perimeter on the outside that teams like Kapa and Tufuna does not have in Jeremiah Johnson and Kobe Finnegan. Those guys were sophomores last year, and they're coming back as juniors. They're both listed at 6 feet or higher, so those are going to really test the strength of Farrington's defense, and it's going to, again, come down to the trenches. I got a chance to talk to Coach Mike Lafayette before the game, and with the weather coming down, with the rain and the storm potentially affecting the state over the weekend, he just wants them to do their job and not take care of the ball, take care of the football, not do anything outside of their power. But, yeah, it's going to be a great game between Rancho Mirage and Farrington.
You said it. It starts up front for Farrington, that offensive line specifically, and led by a pair of Division I prospects, one of whom already committed to a school in Abel Ho'opi'i, the SMU commit, who we also do have his commitment up on our YouTube channel in case you missed that. But Ho'opi'i coming over in the offseason from Kahuku, and he's really a tone setter on that offensive line for Farrington and allows them to dominate the physicality in the trenches. And then defensively, they have a bunch of pieces, but perhaps none bigger than Zayden Maratorangi, who is committed to Hawaii, going home, or staying home, I should say, and he's out there for Farrington as well. A lot of talent for the Govs as they try and make a name for themselves as they enter into the open division.
Yeah, we talk about those two athletes in Abel Ho'opi'i on the offensive line and Zayden Maretarangi, who's committed to Hawaii. When I saw Abel earlier this week on Wednesday, he did have a brace on one of his knees, but glad to see that is off. And for Zayden Maretarangi, he wasn't even practicing on Wednesday. I think he was under he either had the flu or something, because he was in street clothes with a mask on, but he is healthy today. He is suited up. He's got his helmet on. He was in the front singing the alma mater. So glad to see those top two players, some of the top two players from Farrington being able to suit up and look healthy and 100% ready to go.
And really important for them to be healthy and ready to go today against this Rancho Mirage high school team. I mentioned it before. The Rattlers are coming off their first Desert Empire League title in program history. They made it just into the league a few years ago, and now already making their way to the top and looking to build off of last year. And that's kind of been an issue for this program over the years, a bit of a yo-yo throughout the years. After a good season, typically a bad one. In 2022, they were 2-8, but last year they went 7-3. In 2021, 7-4. The year before, though, they went 2-3 during that 2020 season. The year before that, 2019, going 6-5. 2018, 3-7. So you hear what I'm saying, up and down, up and down. They're looking for consistency with winning, and they have an opportunity to do that this season. This is their season opener coming to the islands from California, and they're hoping to lean on guys like Jeremiah Johnson and Kobe Finnegan. But really, it starts with guys like Yanni Padilla, the senior quarterback who comes back as a captain this year. He was the offensive MVP in the Desert Empire League last year, a first-team All-Desert Sun selection. And he does a little bit of everything. The second leading rusher, along with showing off what he has with his arm. So excited to see what he has tonight as he faces off against a strong Farrington team. And as we're getting ready to go, I want to remind you this opening kickoff is powered by Dial Electric Supply, Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier. Here from Farrington High School, Skippa Diaz Stadium, Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium, as Farrington will be kicking it off first to Rancho Mirage from left to right on your radio dial. Zayden Maratarangi looks to be the one getting ready to kick off for the Govs. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro ready for all the action here tonight from Farrington High School. And waiting for the opening kick. Farrington lets out a cheer. And the opening kick, presented by Dial Electric Supply, is off and away. And we're underway here from Farrington High School. Ball is caught and fielded, brought out all the way to the 30-yard line by Rancho Mirage. That's where their first possession will begin. As looks to be number 17 for Rancho Mirage. That's Julian Hernandez, the junior, bringing that one back out to the 30-yard line for the first possession for the visitors.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to linebacker number 5 for Farrington, Luatasi LJ Masalo Salo. He kind of got beat on the play, but he able to come behind and track down the kick returner to get them stopped at the 30-yard line.
And to start things out, 3 receivers out wide to the right side of Padilla in the backfield. In motion goes number 4. That's Kobe Finnegan, who gets this one quickly out and in motion. Reception picks up about 4 yards, and a nice positive play to kick things off for the Rattlers.
Yeah, nice play that time by the Rattlers. You had Kobe Finnegan motioning across the field, and that gives the quarterback a chance to see if they're in man or zone. The opponents realized that they were in man, so they were able to get numbers to the right side of the field for that 4-yard gain.
And that's something you've seen in football start to become a real trend, is more and more pre-snap movement. You see that all the way up to the professional level, and now you see it at the high school level as a handoff here goes up the middle running. And that's Jeremiah Williams, the senior running back, picking up about 4 more yards on the ground. It'll set up a 3rd down and call it about 3, as an opportunity for the Farrington defense to get off the field early here.
Great stop by Maratarangi. There's a different juice in this game. We know we got the Division II game between Pac-5 and McKinley earlier, but in this open division game with Farrington and Rancho Mirage, there is a different level of buzz and excitement here at Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium.
3 receivers out wide to the left. Padilla takes the snap quickly out of his hands and complete. That's number 17, Julian Hernandez. Picks up a 1st down on 3rd and short for the Rattlers. And Rancho Mirage on the move here on their first possession.
Yeah, great job on that play, and great job by Julian Hernandez holding on that ball for about a 7-yard gain, because he took a big hit not only from one Farrington defender, but 2 Farrington defenders in Lauititi Leo Fau and Zion Ziggy Vale, 2 returners from that Farrington squad that made the state semifinals last season.
Yeah, that Farrington squad lost some real talent, but returned almost more, as handoff here goes to Jeremiah Williams, and it's stuffed in the backfield by a bevy of Governors for about a 4-yard loss. And a great job there early on stuffing the run, and that's something that this Rancho Mirage team really likes to do. Jeremiah Williams tallied 918 yards on the ground last season for the Rattlers, going for 12 touchdowns as well. So far in 2 touches tonight, not much of anything going for the star senior.
Yeah, credit the nose guard, Tomaso Lisione, with the stop. Brother is listed at 427 pounds. That is a lot of mass down there.
Yes, it is. 2nd and 14. Padilla takes the snap. He's on the move to his right. Now gets rid of it at the last second. And a crew of Governors around for the tackle. Looked like it was once again number 17, Julian Hernandez. And gain of about 4 yards will set up a 3rd and 9 now for Rancho Mirage. A second opportunity for Farrington to get off the field. The first time watched a completion go to Julian Hernandez. Hernandez holding on as two Governor defenders hit him. Now another chance on 3rd and long to get off the field.
Yeah, great teamwork by the Farrington defense that time, keeping contained and making the quarterback forced to dump it off, and Laui Tite Leothal playing that star nickel position, able to make the stop to make it 3rd and 9.
Man in motion, and before the snap can go off, going to be a flag on the play, false start on Rancho Mirage, and that'll make a 3rd and long, 3rd and even longer now after 3rd and 9 pre-snap movement.
We mentioned the buzz in the air and this community, and that is the reason why. It's because of the community. We mentioned, you heard of the call, man in motion, and the fans in front of us, motion, motion. So if Rancho Mirage is going to get the win today, they're going to have to do it against a very spirited crowd.
Off the field comes the big defensive tackle, Sione. And a little bit smaller of a package on defense now for Farrington, hoping to have a little bit extra quickness on this 3rd and 14. Rancho Mirage takes the snap. Padilla quickly outside to number 2, Jeremiah Johnson, and he'll quickly be wrapped up by the Govs, forcing 4th down and 11, and the punt unit will come on out for the Rattlers.
Yeah, that's the first time that the Rattlers have gone to top targets in Jeremiah Johnson on the screen pass. But again, solid job by one of the linebackers for Farrington, LJ Masalo Salo, tracking it from behind to prevent a big gain.
4th and 11 sets up for a punt. One man back for Farrington. Zero ball game just underway here at Farrington High School. A interstate matchup between California's Rancho Mirage Rattlers and Hawaii's Farrington Governors. Punt is up and away by Padilla, the starting quarterback, also the starting punter. And it'll be downed at the 25-yard line of Farrington by number 4, Kobe Finnegan. And that's where the Govs will start for the first time tonight with 7:30 remaining here in the first quarter.
Solid job by Farrington on defense. You know, earlier this week when I caught up with the Farrington Governors and Coach Mike LaFayette, I asked him, what do you know about Rancho Mirage? And they like to spread you out and force you to defend all parts of the field. And so far in this first test for Farrington's defense, they have withstood the challenge.
And so we'll get our first look at the Farrington Governor offense here tonight. Under center is DJ Fa'avi, who has tallied 395 passing yards this season. First play on the ground, handoff to Kingston Samuelu, who will scurry his way up the middle for a gain of about 7 yards before being taken down by about 3 Rancho Mirage defenders. And that's a great job on first down to really set up the whole drive with a gain of just 7 yards.
Yeah, great job by Kingston Samuelu, who goes by the name Solo V. But Coach actually says his nickname is Solo because he was going to take all those guys down himself for that 8-yard gain.
And now 2nd and 2. It'll go to Solo once again, and that time sniffed out a little bit better by the Rancho Mirage defense. Number 3, Angel Duran, coming up with the tackle in the backfield, and that will make it 3rd and 3 now for Farrington.
It should be a first down. If not, it'll be 3rd and inches.
Pardon me, you're correct. It is actually going to be first down as the chain gang moves very, very late here. Everybody on the same page. A first down for Farrington. And on the 35-yard line is Farrington. Fa'avi waits. Now we'll look over to the sideline. Clock is running. 6:10 and winding. Fa'avi claps his hands. Takes the snap. Hands off. Samuelu up the middle. Driving his legs a few extra yards, and that'll be another pickup of about 4 or 5. And so far, Kingston Samuelu just doing a really nice job falling forward, getting positive yardage every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, Farrington showing the visitors from California, hey, this is Hawaii high school football. can go on 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and if we can run it down your throat and get positive yards every time, we're gonna do it. So right now, the Rancho Mirage, body language in their defensive line isn't great right now. I think one of their defensive tackles got his arms on his hips. Now he's kind of crouched over. They might be gassed right now on defense.
Yeah, early on, it's tough to defend against that running attack, and they'll go to the air right here as the pass incomplete down the right sideline. It was intended for number 84, and I unfortunately do not have 84 on my roster. We'll get that as it'll set up 3rd and about 6 yards now. The Govs still able to pick it up on the ground. A little more difficult, though, as we're scoreless about 7 minutes into play. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro, live from Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium here at Farrington High School. The Govs taking on the Rattlers of Rancho Mirage. Avi takes the snap, now across the way. Hands on off to Smith. Smith stops and goes and will be taken down just around the line of scrimmage right in front of the Rancho Mirage bench, and a couple of players and coaches let out a little scream for the Rattlers as Farrington's drive stalls on its own 38-yard line.
Not a big fan of that play call on 3rd down. It's a great 1st down call if you're trying to trick the defense out, but on 3rd down, going east to west, you need to get at least 8 yards. And that time, Rancho Mirage able to sniff it out. If I'm Farrington, you have the advantage in the trenches. Go north and south until they can stop it. They couldn't stop the run, but they went to the passing game unable to connect, and they went on that little jet sweep play and not able to get anything going. So, unfortunate for the Farrington Gunners right there.
Punt is away for Farrington, and it's a booming one going all the way, bouncing towards the 5, and it'll go into the end zone despite some hustle by a few Farrington Governors for a touchback. And when we come back, it'll be Rancho Mirage ball, looking for the first points of the night on their second possession. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Damage from hurricanes is devastating and traumatic. After these storms, dishonest contractors show up, hoping to make a quick buck from your insurance claim. They'll promise anything if they can get you to sign a contract, collect your payment in advance, and ultimately do no work at all. Avoid being the victim of contractor fraud. Get estimates from at least 3 contractors. Check references, and remember, if you didn't request it, reject it.
To report fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. This is a public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Aloha, beautiful people! Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ule Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lascaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Dial Electric Supply.
Welcome back to Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you all the action as the Farrington Governors host the Rancho Mirage Rattlers. And on first down, a 4-yard gain by Padilla. Now 2nd and 6. Completed across the middle on a nice slant route to number 4. That's Kobe Finnegan. And it'll pick up a first down for the visitors as the Rattlers moving quickly here to begin their second drive.
Great play call that time on 2nd down for the 10-yard gain to Kobe Finnegan on the RPO play. That's another thing that this Rancho Mirage offense has in their arsenal. They didn't really show it in the first drive, but after having to punt in that first possession, they're going to kind of go more deeper in the playbook after seeing what Farrington's defense comes out in.
Yeah, this defense for Farrington showing off the ability to stop the run at times, but so far the passing game helping Rancho Mirage move the ball down the field, and it's been a bunch of different targets for Yanni Padilla, the starting senior quarterback. First down and 10, handoff up the middle goes to Jeremiah Williams, and once again going to be bottled up before he can gain too much yardage. Looks about to be a gain of 1, maybe not even that, as it sets up 2nd and long here for Rancho Mirage.
Yeah, I think that play design was to go to the left, but he opted to go right, and towards his right was big 427-pound Tamaso Ali Sione, and then Ziggy Vale was able to clean it up. So no gain on that first down play. They're going to have to probably go to the passing game here on 2nd down.
Passing game has been where they've been able to find some success, and they'll wait to find a little more success here as Rancho Mirage calls a timeout to try and figure things out against this Farrington defense. And Michael, so far against this passing attack for Rancho Mirage, Farrington struggled a little bit as there are so many different options for the Rattlers. When it comes to the running game, though, the defensive line, almost similar to Pac-5 early on, dominating up front.
Yeah, Farrington definitely has that desire to stop the run first, and that will definitely help you get into 2nd and long, 3rd and longs. But they also have to stay disciplined in the passing lanes on those RPO plays. But so far, so good for the Farrington defense. They just need to be able to, their linebackers need to be able to drop back and get a hand or tip on some of those passing plays over the middle.
I want to take this opportunity to remind you this broadcast is brought to you by Hawai'i Pacific Health. Hawai'i Pacific Health takes the team approach to providing the expert care you need when and where you need it. Together, we are creating a healthier Hawaii. Second game of the night here on Hawaii Sports Radio Network. In case you missed it, first up at action between Pac-5 and McKinley. Pac-5 picking up their 2nd victory of the year. Now have Rancho Mirage taking on Farrington. A trick play here, pass behind the line of scrimmage. Goes to Kobe Finnegan, and a pass down the field is incomplete, intended for number 2, Jeremiah Johnson, but a flag on the play. And from the reaction, it looks like it could be going against Farrington, and that'll probably be a first down for Rancho Mirage.
I really don't understand why the flag. I felt like he was going for the ball. But either way, Rancho Mirage trying to go in their bag of tricks early in this game. Ziggy Vale was there, but unfortunately he's going to get called for the flag. But it's just be a 15-yarder, so it's not a spot foul unlike the NFL. So just count your blessings that it's not a touchdown on the trick play, and then just take it, flush it, and move on and play defense.
Yeah, unfortunate if you are the Farrington defense because you feel like you played it well. Unfortunate flag picks up a new set of downs for Rancho Mirage, and now you got to do the whole thing over again. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of Rancho Mirage. Padilla takes the snap, pulls it on back, and pass out wide to Finnegan is dropped through the hands of the junior wide receiver. Finnegan last year had 565 yards receiving, and we've seen him early on active in not just the receiving game, but he was the one that tossed that trick play pass just before that drew the pass interference.
Yeah, want to give credit to the nickelback for Farrington. Again, Laui Titi Leofau, showing why he's one of the top players in that position, in that kind of rover nickelback star position, able to break up the pass, which was very much a catchable ball for Finnegan. Look, and now he's traveling. So wherever Finnegan goes, I think number 7, Laui Titi Leofau, is going to follow.
It's a good little piece of information as this one goes on. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Whistles blow.
The delay of game.
As we've got a delay of game called on Rancho Mirage. And after getting a penalty to help them out on this drive, now a penalty against the Rattlers drives them on back. 2nd and 15 now for the visitors from California.
And that's some of the issues when you do have a lot of pre-snap motions. When you have all the window dressing, you better get to the line fast to set up the play. If you don't, it's going to be a delay of game.
Into motion goes Julian Hernandez. And hit in the backfield is Padilla. Yanni Padilla taken down. And it's Ziggy Vea coming up with the sack, the first one of the night for the Govs, and a big one there to set up 3rd and nearly impossible now as it's over 20 yards to the first down.
Ziggy Vea showing off that versatility. You know, we mentioned him earlier when he broke up that pass that unfortunately got flagged on a trick play here towards the 30-yard line of Farrington. But here, getting that 5-yard loss on Padilla in the backfield. So he's all over the field, and now it's 3rd and about 20 for the Rancho Mirage Rattlers.
Vea standing back there at that safety position, covers a lot of ground for this Govs defense. Padilla takes the snap quickly, gets it out of his hands, ahead to Williams, who's popped behind the original line of scrimmage. And Jeremiah Williams unable to get back even to midfield, and it'll be 4th and 15 now for the Rattlers. A good job by Farrington to force what should be now a punt.
Yeah, Farrington is doing a solid job getting penetration. That time Padilla had to roll to his right, and Farrington was able to cover up that pass, and it was only a gain of 4. So punting situation.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hawaii Pacific Health proudly presents Hawaii Pacific University Sports on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Listen live to HPU men's and women's basketball, baseball, and softball on HSRN 95.1 FM, AM 760, or at hawaiisportsradio.com.
Farrington just needs to be able to maintain their assignments and discipline here.
Hello?
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and
You're
cancer.
listening to OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Welcome back to Farrington High School, where the first quarter has come to a close. It's still scoreless here from Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium, and once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Happy to be with you here tonight as the Farrington Governors looking to pick up a victory against one of the continent schools, as California's Rancho Mirage here visiting the Govs, Mike Laffa, LA's Govs, who have looked good on both sides so far. Only one possession offensively, but got a little bit going on the ground, not able to get the passing attack going quite yet. Defensively so far has been very good against the run and starting to figure things out against this Rancho Mirage passing attack.
Yeah, and the score is 0-0 right now, but Farrington's definitely winning the battle in the trenches. Before Farrington got the ball back, you know, the Farrington players were in the offensive backfield for Rancho Mirage and was able to force them into 3rd and 20, and there was not much they could do there. Before the end of the first quarter, we had Kingston Samuelu rush for about 15 yards to make it a first down at the 34-yard line.
And now Farrington with their second crack at offense to start the second quarter on out. They'll begin things from their own 34-yard line. Snap goes to Fa'avi, pulls down after a fake throw, and is gonna drive his legs all the way for what looks to be a first down as he carries a couple of Rancho Mirage defenders past the line to gain and picks up a new set of downs for the Govs.
Fa'avi showing his ability as a runner there. He does have 8 rushes for 56 yards already. And in high school football, sacks are attributed to the quarterback's rushing stats. So good sign to see Fa'avi showing his ability to move the ball, not only through the air, but with his legs.
Going to need that to continue for this Farrington offense to be successful. Handoff here to Samuelu, up the left side to the sideline, runs over a Rancho Mirage defender before being taken down. Defender he ran over was Jeremiah Johnson, and the powerful running style of Kingston Samuelu. They're picking up another first down, rumbling down the field.
Yeah, another good run by Samuelu for 11 yards. But right now, Farrington is kind of, quote-unquote, kind of not in easy mode, but the reads are easy for Fa'avi to check into the right plays. They're kind of in this double stack formation now, but earlier they were in a triple stack formation, and it's all about reading numbers in the box. If the numbers favor you, just hand the ball off. If it's not, then there's some option on the outside.
Running a lot to the left this time, going to the right. Pass backwards is fumbled and picked back up this time by Jacob Talamoa, working his way around, somehow makes something out of what looked like a disaster, and instead of losing about 20 yards, it'll be a loss of only 6 for Farrington. Like I said, could have been a nightmare scenario. Instead, only feels like a sack. Sets up 2nd and 16 now for the Govs.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to set up the same trick play that Rancho Mirage tried against them in the first quarter. But I tell you what, that was a loss of 5, but that was an exciting play there by Jacob Talamoa, and credit him for turning disaster into something for it's manageable, where it's 2nd and 15 and you have an opportunity with 2 downs to get the first down.
It was a loss of 5, but it almost felt like he ran and gained 20 yards after the original fumble. Fa'avi trying to the far sideline, just out of the reach of Chanson Smith, and it'll be 3rd and long now for Farrington after an originally promising offensive drive. Failed trick play, setting things back for the Govs.
Yeah, on throws like that to the outside, when you're in the slot receivers running to the out route, you want to get your feet set so you can get some drive on that ball. It is, the wind is starting to pick up, but that ball kind of floated in the air, and Farrington fortunate not to have an interception on that throw.
If you are Farrington on 3rd and 15 here, hope to pick up 7-8 yards, perhaps even more, as a wide open Samuelu down the right sideline is going to haul in the Fa'avi catch. A great job by Princeton Samuelu, the 6'2" wide receiver, the junior, as it's the Samuelu so far for Farrington, pushing this drive further and further as they're into Rancho Mirage territory, and it's flirting with the red zone.
I tell you what, if that ball had a little bit more juice to it, that's probably a touchdown, but it is windy here. But that 18 yards is still 18 yards is a positive.
Handoff goes to Kingston Samuelu goes up the middle for a gain of about 5. And now a little more pep in the step of Farrington after converting on 3rd and 15. Gain of about 25 yards puts them in business now, as it'll be 2nd and about 5 from the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we had Princeton Samuelu in the receiving game. Now we have Kingston Samuelu in the running game. Kind of cool to see where you get the king and the prince on this offense.
So I thought that when I was looking at the name. Fa'avi connects with Chanson Smith. He cuts upfield, bounces off one defender. Now multiple Rattler defenders trying to take down Smith. Not before he's able to pick up a first down And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line of Rancho Mirage. Farrington in business here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, Smith actually had to come back to that ball that was slightly underthrown, but in coming back to the ball, that actually gave him some space to operate and use his moves and his skill and his agility to turn that catch for about 5 yards into a gain of about 15. So it'll be 1st and 10 outside of the 10-yard line. This is the deepest Farrington has been, and they're looking to put up some points to get themselves on the board.
Going to get a timeout quickly from the defense here, as a bit of a full house look, I believe you were calling it, in the first game from Farrington there, and one that would have been in the Wildcat version as well. And a timeout on the field by Rancho Mirage. We'll take a quick one as well. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather round, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
Quickly going is Farrington in a Wildcat formation, as goes to Kingston Samuelu and set up right away. Direct snap to Samuelu once again around the right corner, and he's going to be taken down at about the 1-yard line. And they'll say it's enough for the first down. It'll set up 1st and goal from the 1 for Farrington, as Kingston Samuelu, I should say, taking direct snaps and now setting up Farrington on the doorstep.
Yeah, monster package there for Farrington, with Samuela getting a gain of 9 and a gain of 1 to get the first down. There was some extracurricular out there from both parties near the goal line, but fortunately no flags called and they're playing on. But it is 1st and goal at the 1-yard line, so Farrington essentially has 4 tries to get in there out of this package that made popular by Kahuku during the Vavai Tata days, called their elephant package.
Yeah, a real heavy one, and direct snap goes to Samuelu once again. Takes it in the middle, and it'll be a touchdown, Kingston Samuelu. First points of the evening go to Farrington. It's 6-0 Govs, pending a PAT.
Yeah, great job. Like we said at the start of throughout this whole broadcast, Farrington is winning the battle in the trenches. And that's what they need to go to. I was kind of critical of them earlier in the game when they kind of run a little jet sweep on 3rd and 8, where, hey, that's a good first down play, but on 3rd down you want something a little bit more where you have opportunity to go. And true to form, Farrington going north to south there with the big boys up front, the big uglies, whatever you may call them, and they're able to get the job done. And Kingston Samuelu just powering his way in there, showing that he is a top bell cow for the Farrington Governors.
And you mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, it feels like Farrington every year has these type of running backs who can just kind of run through your face, for lack of a better phrase. Last year, Sitani Mikaele, who now walking on at the University of Hawaii, and now this year seeing it with Kingston Samuelu, as the PAT is up and good.
Extra point is good
by Ku Ponciano, and with 8:01 remaining here in the first half, it's 7-0 Farrington leading Rancho Mirage. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Honey, did you fix the door yet?
Don't worry, the best and brightest are on it.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far.
Oh, not me, dear. I'm talking about Kama'aina Handyman. They have the highest customer service ratings with over 1,000 reviews, and they're voted best handyman service on Oahu.
Oh, Kama'aina Handyman. They fix their neighbors' windows.
Yep, I went to kama'ainahandyman.com, and they can fix our cabinets and closet doors too.
Huh, and now I don't have to worry about you breaking anything.
Huh?
Oh, nothing.
Mahalo, Kamaina Handyman.
Sports allow us to play, learn, and grow. But there's something more important than victory. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we believe every athlete deserves to be safe. Safe from abuse and misconduct on and off the field. We equip athletes, parents, coaches, and others with the right education to recognize, prevent, and respond to harmful behavior. Join the movement to champion respect and end abuse at uscenterforsafesport.org.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Edward Skipper Diaz Stadium. Paul Brecht, Michael Lescaro, bringing you all the action from tonight's Farrington Rancho Mirage game, as Farrington the first to strike, as Kingston Samuelu takes it in from 1 yard out to give a 7-0 lead to the hosts. Zayden Maratarangi getting ready to kick things off. 8:01 remaining here in the first half. Maratarangi kicks it on off. It'll be fielded by number 2, Jeremiah Johnson. He'll take it up the middle and find his way out past the 35-yard line all the way to the 36. That's where the Rattlers will start their next possession, trailing 7-0 here. And Michael, so far it's been all defense for Farrington setting up the offense. The defense doing a good job holding down a pretty potent running attack for this Rancho Mirage team.
And I think you got to give credit to them for just staying in their lanes and doing their jobs and doing their assignments. And that's what Coach Mike Lafayette said to me pregame, where they just got to do their job. It is kind of windy. It is maybe could pour, but as long as they do what they need to do, they're going to come up with a W.
Yeah, and that's something that we've seen from this Farrington team over the first 2 weeks, is an attention to detail and doing the right thing, as Padilla takes the snap, toss it on to the right side, complete to number 4, Kobe Finnegan. And Finnegan out across the 40-yard line to the 41. It'll be 2nd and 5 now for Rancho Mirage after he's run out of bounds by a couple of Farrington defenders.
I tell you what, I thought that pass by Padilla was going to be overthrown, but Finnegan being aggressive for that ball, I thought it must have been in the pick 6. So Finnegan showing his skills out there, protecting the football, and able to turn that short loss into a positive gain of 5 yards. Finnegan now goes into motion, and likewise, Lauititi Leofau is calling us some plays because Finnegan went from right to left all the way at the wideout at the left spot.
Padilla takes the snap, hands off up the middle. Williams going to be taken down, and it'll be number 20, Zayden Maratarangi, coming up with the stop right there. Sets up 3rd and about 4 yards to go for a first down for Rancho Mirage. And we've seen this a couple of times now for Farrington in 3rd and short, and Rancho Mirage not afraid to go to the air in these situations, Michael.
Yeah, they just need 3 yards here after that stop by Maratarangi and Wilfred Luafalemana Haney. So they just need to be, if they want to get this first down, you just got to get 3 yards. It's a play action pass.
Going to be dropped off the hands of Hernandez, as Julian Hernandez had some space to go after, but couldn't come up with it after it hit him in both hands. Off the field goes the defense, or I should say the offense for Rancho Mirage. On comes the punt unit, as once again the Farrington defense coming up with a stop.
Yeah, Farrington fortunate there because Hernandez did have room to run, but if there's anything that coaches teach to wide receivers is you have to secure the football first before you take off and run. That time got a little ahead of himself, unable to bring it down, and Farrington survives and forces a punt. But Padilla is the starting punter, so let's see if there's any trickeration here on 4th and 3 by Rancho Mirage.
It's something you always need to keep an eye out for, as we're going to get another flag before the snap, and looks to be once again on Rancho Mirage. We'll see if it is. And they're actually going to pick up the flag and wave it on off. So much to do about nothing. Remains 4th and 3 for the visitors from California. You mentioned it. Padilla, not only the starting quarterback, but the starting punter as well for the Rattlers. High snap, gets that one and boots it on away. It'll bounce and take a great bounce and roll for the Rattlers. And it's going to be down all the way at the 1 yard line of Farrington. 99 yards to go to pay dirt for the Govs. A beautiful punt by the starting punter and quarterback for Rancho Mirage. And to be fair, it does make sense. I mentioned he was the offensive MVP last year of the league in the DEL, but he also was a second-team all-league selection at the punter position. So showing off how talented he is in multiple phases of the game.
Yeah, well, for a good punt to be down, you're going to need to have a good gunner, and that was Anakin Castrejon that was able to track it down and get the ball before it went to the end zone, because it was getting there. I thought Zigavia probably could have fielded it, but he saw the ball and he's like, it's probably going in the end zone. But Anakin Castrejon was able to get there and get it down at the 1. So great teamwork there by the Rancho Mirage Rattlers on that 4th down and 3 punt.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 to go from their own 1 yard line. And this is where you see Farrington's identity come into play. A mean, bruising team up front who wants to run the ball. Going to try and get out from the shades of their own end zone. And they will, with about a gain of, call it, 6 yards. As a little more breathing room now for the Farrington offense after a beautiful punt from Padilla put them in a bad spot.
Yeah, first carry of the game for Donovan Bergantinos. He's kind of a more smaller tweener back at 5'5" and 192 pounds, but Farrington's showing that they have depth at running back, and it's just not Kingston Samuelu with Bergantinos able to get 6 yards on that 1st and 10 from the 1.
You like to set up a little bit of depth so you're not a one-trick pony. Speaking of tricks, here's a little end around, goes to Jacob Talamoa. And Talamoa is going to take it around the right side and up for a 1st down, a gain of 7 on the play by the wide receiver. Some trickery. Late snap motion picks up 1st down for the Govs.
A little fanciness there, and then I kind of like when teams elect to go with the little forward shuffle pass on those jet sweeps, because it's an easy completion for your stats. So Faavi gets some confidence there with his little completion to Talamoa, and Farrington's back in business after starting at the 1 yard line.
3 split out wide to the left, quickly out ahead to Chanson Smith. Puts in an inside-out move, now outside to the left. Gets a block out ahead and going to be tracked down at the last moment by Jeremiah Johnson, but Chanson Smith with an excellent job bouncing around and off defenders. There is a flag on the play, though. We'll see if it's coming on back.
It should be good enough for the 1st down. Looks like the flag came after the 1st down was gained, so it should still be 1st and 10 Farrington, but it just remains to see where the ball is brought back after the penalty on that run, catch and run by Jacob Talamoa.
We continue to see, though, in the passing game some bounciness from these receivers for Farrington, as penalty is against the Govs for a blindside block. And it'll back them on up to essentially the same place that they were.
Yeah, so in the books, that pass goes down as a 16-yard gain, catch and run. But because of the blindside block, which is a personal foul, it pushes them back 15 yards, which is why they're at the 16-yard line now for Farrington.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Farrington from their own about 15-yard line. Fa'avi claps his hands, awaiting the snap. Now he goes. Fa'avi looks to his right, passes outside, and the pass just a little too low for Chanson Smith. And it'll set up 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line for the Govs. And after some success early on in the running game, now airing it out a little bit more, letting Fa'avi show off his arm. But right there, not enough on it, a little too low for Smith.
Yeah, that play didn't look good from the start, because it looks like Chanson Smith and Jacob Talamoa are a bit confused on the call, because they keep looking at each other trying to figure out what the deal is. They're trying to line up right now too, so if I'm Farrington, I might want to call a timeout here on 2nd and 10.
Trips out wide to the right. 2nd and 10. Fa'avi takes the snap. 5-step drop. Pass over the middle. High pointed and grabbed. What a snag by number 3, Jacob Talamoa, who comes on down and gets the first, and a late flag flies in. But it won't matter because of a first down by Talamoa, crossing across the middle of the field and high pointing the ball from Fa'avi. A beautiful snag by the receiver. And we'll see what this flag is.
So in the books, it does go down as a 23-yard completion to Talamoa, who high-pointed that ball, which I thought was going to be incomplete. But it looks like there is some extracurricular activities against the visitors for Rancho Mirage after the play, which actually moves the ball across midfield to Rancho Mirage's 46-yard line.
A personal foul for some unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, it looked like the call was. And that's a big call as well, as into, as you mentioned, Rancho Mirage territory goes Farrington. Handoff faked and kept by Fa'avi. Will gain about 3 yards before being taken down by a pair of Rattlers defenders. Looked like it was number 2, Jeremiah Johnson, and number 3, Angel Duran, coming up with a stop for the visitors, as it'll be 2nd and about 8 to go.
Great tackle by Jeremiah Johnson. You know, he's also one of their top receivers, but he's one of the few players on this Rancho Mirage team that actually has the beef and the size to go against some of these big guys from Farrington. And, you know, he's one of their top players, so great job by him to get that stop and limit that quarterback keeper for 2 yards.
Still in the backfield with Fa'avi is Bergantinos. Pass outside to the right side is complete. Looks to be number 6, Chanson Smith. But it's going to be a loss. And another flag comes flying in after the play. A loss of about 3 originally, but a flag comes flying in once again after some extracurriculars between teams. And the officials getting it all settled now.
So it's about a loss of 3, but I believe the penalty is going to go against the sideline of Rancho Mirage, because they were really excited after that play where he's dropped down and the ball was ending up towards their side. But I guess the penalty is actually against Farrington on that play. So not only is it a loss on the books in the scrimmage for a loss of 3, but it's a loss of 15 in the penalty department, where it's going to be 3rd and long, and I think at this point you're just going to run the ball and punt the ball, because that's very hard to convert when you're already back. You were originally at the 46-yard line of Rancho Mirage. Now you're on your own 38-yard line. It's run the ball and punt the ball and just fight for another day.
A back-breaking penalty in terms of the life of this drive there. 15 yards back after already a 3-yard loss because of an unsportsmanlike penalty. Going to be going to the air, pass across the middle, and dives. Going to be intercepted by number 4, Kobe Finnegan of Rancho Mirage. A great play by the junior defensive back, also plays wide receiver for the Rattlers. An errant throw by Fa'avi across the middle, and a great diving catch by Finnegan. Creates the game's first turnover here with 3:30 remaining in the second quarter, and the Rancho Mirage Rattlers trailing 7-0.
Yeah, like I said, I thought they were just going to run the ball and punt it. I guess that can technically count as a punt, but now Farrington was at the 46. Rancho Mirage gets the ball back on their own 45. It's Rattlers time.
With a lot of time to work. Pass, or play action pass complete down the sideline. A nice connection between Jeremiah Johnson and Yanni Padilla. It's good enough for about 15 yards and a first down. And all of a sudden, this Rancho Mirage team looking a little more energized with 3:23 and counting until halftime.
Not good energy after that 16-yard pass play to Jeremiah Johnson. Farrington, they're going to have to get their heads in the game, because Rancho Mirage has all the momentum right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout.
Padilla takes the snap, drops back, now looking right, pass down the sideline is going to go incomplete, out of the reach of number 4, Kobe Finnegan. Was well defended by Farrington. In the area, Daniel Suyat and number 2, Everest Cole Rodriguez, both around in coverage for Farrington.
Yeah, and that's probably the first and one of the rare times we're going to call Everest Cole Rodriguez's name for Farrington in the secondary at cornerback position, because he is the reigning OIA Division I Defensive Player of the Year after getting over almost a dozen interceptions last season as a junior. So I'm surprised that Rancho Mirage actually tried him, but credit him for slowing down Finnegan to make that pass come up short.
Padilla takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now will go up the middle and quickly brought down by Farrington.
Making a tackle was number 5, LJ Masalo.
Looked like it was LJ Masalo Salo coming up with the stop after about a gain of 2 or 3 yards for Padilla. Sets up 3rd down and 8, and it'll be a timeout taken by Farrington here as a key down on the way. Leading by 7 are the Govs, looking to hold on to that lead. Can they maybe even add on before halftime? Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Aloha, beautiful people. Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ule Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lescaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
Welcome back to Farrington High School, where Rancho Mirage trails Farrington 7-0, and on 3rd and 8 gets a Governor to jump on defense, and it'll be an encroachment penalty, 5 yards, and sets up a much more manageable 3rd and 3 now for the Rattlers from Riverside, California.
Yeah, the left defensive end, Peyton Tanavasa, just a little excited there to kind of get the stop, but now it's 3rd and 3, and now you have the full arsenal, the full playbook at your hands disposal now for Rancho Mirage.
3rd and short for the Rattlers. Man in motion is Finnegan. Takes the snap is Padilla. Off his back foot, tries to find Jeremiah Johnson and just didn't have enough on it. Good coverage there by Farrington. Makes it 4th and 3 now for Rancho Mirage, and the Rattlers have a decision to make, kind of in no man's land at the Farrington 32.
Yeah, that was probably a completion that Padilla wishes to get back. He was just kind of retreating, backing up his back foot, throwing his back foot, but I think if he just stood stall and was willing to take the hit, he was going to get a completion. But credit the pressure to Zayden Maretsarangi, the future Rainbow Warrior, for forcing Padilla into that bad throw.
And the offense stays on the field for the Rattlers. Padilla with Jeremiah Williams split to his right. Man in motion is Kobe Finnegan. Snap goes to Padilla. Drops back, looking down the left sideline, going for the end zone. And a little too long by Yanni Padilla, and Rancho Mirage turns it over on downs with 2:42 remaining, and Farrington will take over from their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, that pass was a deep ball that you're going to give credit to the Farrington defenders back there for being under P's and Q's. But again, I want to give credit to the nickelback Laui Tita Leo Fau, number 7, who traveled with Kobe Finnegan across the line of scrimmage, across the formation, and Padilla really wanted to get that short throw, but Lauititi Leofau was right there on step with him, so he had to go deep. That was the only place he could go on that play, and Farrington able to get the turnover on downs.
And Leofau very quietly has been a massive piece to this Farrington defense thus far against a Rancho Mirage team with not just one, but multiple targets in the wide receiver room. Now it'll be Farrington taking over at their own 32-yard line. Fa'avi passes on out, and it'll be complete to Chanson Smith out to the 35-yard line for a gain of about 3. Sets up 2nd and 7 now for the Govs, as they'll start to go a little bit quicker here as we tick under 2 minutes, or 2.5 minutes here in the second quarter. Fa'avi takes the snap. Handoff now up the middle. Rumbling up the middle goes number 17, Donovan Bergantinos. And Bergantinos looks to be close to the first down marker. No movement from the chains yet. And now the chains will move.
The officials have to get on it because Farrington are wanting to go hurry up, and Fa'avi was copying for the ball, but officials are pulling it off. If it's a first down, it's a first down.
That's funny because you don't normally see that happen to the home team, right? You'd think that would help out Farrington as Fa'avi completes it out to the left side. It's number 11, Ku Ponciano. As Ponciano works his way through a couple of would-be tacklers, and it's going to be enough for another first down, it looks like.
It is a first down. It's a first. They have to move the chains. But I guess it's going to be 2nd and short.
It will instead be 2nd and inches, it appears, as Fa'avi takes the snap, drops on back. Looking downfield, down the middle, looking for Talamoa, and Jacob Talamoa brings it on in for the first down. Another late flag on the play, but Jacob Talamoa making his impact felt in the receiving game thus far and setting up Farrington inside the red zone pending this flag.
It's going to be a 31-yard completion, but I believe the penalty is going to be on Talamoa for his excessive celebration. But I tell you what, man, so these officials, they need to kind of, they're kind of putting it in their own hands right now, and I don't really like it. Farrington wants to go hurry up, and that's working for them. But if the chains are already taking forever to move, man. It's the Farrington fans are definitely upset too.
And I don't blame them to be upset there, and I hate to have criticism against an official, but that you need to allow a kid to show off some emotion in competition. Talamoa didn't do anything egregious, just got up and motioned for a first down, gets a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty instead. And now instead of first down inside the 20, it's first down from the Rancho Mirage 32. Handoff goes to Donovan Bergantinos, and Bergantinos going to pick up about 1 yard. 2nd and 9 now from the Rancho Mirage 31. And a massive, massive penalty right there for Farrington. Under 50 seconds to go here in the first half. Fa'avi takes the snap, pass complete, out past the first down marker once again, connecting with Chanson Smith. And Smith, the chain mover here in the first half for Farrington, now gets them inside the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 from the 19, and 35 seconds and counting for Farrington.
Great 12-yard completion that time to Chanson Smith. And we're under 30 seconds to play, but I am loving the tempo that they have. But they just need to be aware of the clock. There is only 1 clock here in the field, so the coaches on the sideline need to be aware of that.
No real urgency quite yet. Pass complete out wide to number 11, Ku Ponciano. He'll take it upfield for a gain of about 7 yards. And the clock stops with 11 seconds left here in the second quarter as Farrington takes a timeout.
6-yard gain on that.
It'll be second down and about 3 yards to go from, call it, the Rancho Mirage 13-yard line. And now if you're Farrington, a prime opportunity to head into halftime up 2 scores with a couple of chances to go at the end zone here with 11 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if they do have a field goal kicker that they trust to take that kick. So if you're going to take a shot in the end zone, it has to be past the goal line, past the pylon. I'm curious to see what they choose to come out here. They might choose to come out in a full house package and maybe try to get to the boundaries. But they like the tempo right now. But one thing I do want to check out at halftime is, where is Kingston Samuelu? Because for most of the second quarter, or most of the past 2 drives, it's been Donovan Bergantino's out there at running back. And I thought I saw Samuelu on the sideline with his number 33 jersey, but I don't see a 33 jersey now yet on the sideline. So that's going to be something to check at halftime as a potential storyline.
Good observation by you. Back out on the field is Farrington. Va'avi takes the snap. Pass is intercepted.
Pass intercepted.
Number 4, Kobe Finnegan, looks like came up with the pick.
By the Rattlers, number 4,
And it is Finnegan once again coming up with the interception, and a Farrington drive that looked so promising even after an unsportsmanlike conduct comes to a close without a score. And that'll also close the first half here from Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium as Farrington takes a 7-0 lead into the break over Rancho Mirage. Don't go too far. We'll have all the breakdown for your halftime analysis coming on up. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather round, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Saturday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. The regular season is in sight as the Dallas Cowboys host the LA Chargers in the preseason finale. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Jesse Holly, and me for all the action as Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys get one final tune-up against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers in the final preseason game. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
On Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Hawaii Sports Radio Network recognizes the Colt Brennan Legacy Fund of the Hawaii Community Foundation, established by the Brennan family to honor the memory of their son and brother, former University of Hawaii quarterback Colt Brennan. The fund supports causes that Colt cared about, UH athletics and youth sports, in addition to organizations that support individuals struggling with mental health and addiction issues. Visit hawaiicommunityfoundation.org/Colt-fund today to learn more about how you can help.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Your home for USC Trojans football. KGU AM K236CR Honolulu is the Hawaii Sports Radio Network on 95.1 FM and AM 760.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Dial Electric Supply.
Welcome back to Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium here at Farrington High School. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you all the action as Farrington, the number 5 team in the latest power rankings by Scoring Live, leading California's Rancho Mirage 7-0 at halftime. Kingston Samuelu with a 1-yard score back early on in the second quarter, and then since then, no other scoring. It's been a defensive battle, Michael, on both sides. And tell you what, that's kind of what we expected coming in between two really talented teams on both sides of the ball.
I tell you what, though, Farrington, they're dominating the line in the they're dominating the game in the trenches, but simple mistakes that are kind of costing them. With Kobe Finnegan of Rancho Mirage coming up with 2 interceptions. There's one where it came on 3rd and long, where they should just run the ball and punt the ball, where he slide and stop that drive. And there's one here at the goal line, just the end of the first half, just to stop any more points and stop this deficit from getting bigger for the visiting Rattlers from California. You know, that throw, I know Fa'awi wants that throw back. He just needed that ball a little bit higher so the receiver running to the far pylon could get it, but Finnegan able to sky up there. And again, this is still preseason, so I think for a young quarterback like Fa'awi, who's getting his first time as a starting quarterback for a team, there are some throws that, hey, maybe it can work against some of the teams that you've been playing, but when you play in the open division, now with Farrington moving up, playing the likes against Kahuku, Mililani, Campbell, Kapolei, those throws are going to have to be on point and on target just so you don't get a turnover like that.
And that's a great point by you, Michael, where Farrington, part of the open division here in Hawaii, the highest level of high school football in the islands, they have some pretty big games coming up against your Kahukus, against your Mililanis, and these teams.
St. Louis next week.
St. Louis next week even, who are expected to compete for perhaps a state title at the end of this season. So this is a great, almost appetizer to when you're facing off against these other elite squads here in Hawaii, because you get the size where a bunch of these guys who are playing for Rancho Mirage are going to go play at the next level, and one of those guys is Jeremiah Williams, the captain, senior running back, who so far Farrington has kept completely at bay.
Yeah, I didn't expect Jeremiah Williams to have a big game, because knowing Farrington, I mean, they have a guy that's 400 pounds on that defensive line. They got Zayden Tarangi on the right side, and they got Peyton Tanavasa on the left side. There isn't going to be much running room that they're going to get, but I'm impressed at how Farrington has been able to limit plays in the passing game. Jeremiah Johnson, he is a stud. Kobe Finnegan shows what he can do on defense. You know, if he gets the ball in space on offense, he's going to make a play. But again, this back seven for Farrington has kind of impressed me. There's Cole Everest Rodriguez, who's been a standout at the cornerback position. Rancho Mirage hasn't really tried him. And then you got to give credit to the nickelback, Laui Titi Leofau, playing in that star position, playing in that rover position, who has pretty much mirrored whatever Finnegan has done. And he's, to me, is the unsung hero of the game. But for Farrington, there is some concern, because I don't know the status of Kingston Solovi Samuelu. He's been the workhorse for this Farrington Govs, but when the half ended, I didn't see him in uniform. I didn't see a 33 on the sideline. And the running room, it was a lot of Donovan Bergandinos, still capable back, but not the powerhouse that is Kingston's Solovi Samuelu.
And that's an excellent thing for you to point out, and something that we'll continue to keep our eye on, because should Kingston Samuelu go out with an injury, it makes things a bit more interesting for this Farrington offense. Like you mentioned, it's not like Donovan Bergantinos can't compete and can't be as good, but also you've seen the consistency from Kingston Samuelu. And if he is injured, it could be a big loss, even if it's just for the rest of tonight for Farrington. That sports injury report brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health, creating a healthier Hawaii. And when we come back, we'll get into a little bit more of the action from that first half. as Farrington leads Rancho Mirage 7-0 at halftime. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Aloha, beautiful people. Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ulei Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lescaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
Sports allow us to play, learn, and grow. But there's something more important than victory. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we believe every athlete deserves to be safe. Safe from abuse and misconduct on and off the field. We equip athletes, parents, coaches, and others with the right education to recognize, prevent, and respond to harmful behavior. Join the movement to champion respect and end abuse at uscenterforsafesport.org.
You guys just didn't want it bad enough. That should have been an easy win. What were you doing out there? You gotta hustle. You could have made that play if you'd been open.
On the car ride home after the game, when you think you're helping by telling me what I did wrong and what I need to work on, all I hear is that I'm not good enough, that I'm supposed to be perfect, that it's not okay to lose. On the car ride home, all I need to hear is how much you love me and enjoy watching me play. That my worth isn't determined by my performance. That even on my worst day, I am worthy. That you see me learning, growing, and doing my best. And that is enough.
This message presented by the HHSAA and the Hawaii Interscholastic Athletic Directors Association.
You're listening to OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Killy.
Welcome back to Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium. Paul Brecht, Michael Lescaro bringing you the action as number 5 Farrington up at halftime over Rancho Mirage from California, 7-0. And the big question at hand right now, Kingston Samelu, who has the lone touchdown here in the first half. Michael, what his status will be coming here into the second half, and we're still waiting on an answer to that as the teams still waiting to get ready for this second half, meeting with each other. And as you look at this second half, what is the key for Farrington to hold on to this 7-point lead and perhaps even build on top of it to pull out their third victory in as many weeks and as many games?
I think you still have to be aggressive and moving the ball down the field. And we saw some action of that in that second quarter with DJ Fa'abi throwing the ball to guys like Jacob Talamoa and Chanton Smith. But you also have to be smart on these throws. Like, your receivers are going to make plays for you, but you need to be pinpoint on those throws. And that has kind of come back to bite Farrington, where they had drives inside of Rancho Mirage territory, but ends up in an interception. And if Samuelo's not in the game, this is really going to put pressure on your passing game. I know that Farrington has been kind of working on some packages early this week. They did have that elephant package with Samuelu, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have some packages where they're kind of in a heavy set where you still have a receiver and a tight end. Because I know that there's still some plays in this that Farrington practiced this week that they haven't shown yet. So I'm just looking forward to that if they're going to need that time where they need to get either a first down or a touchdown.
There's a good thing to have extra things in the back pocket, right? And so far they've not had to take them out. But as you mentioned, as injuries may rack up throughout the season, or even tonight with Kingston Samuelu, who might miss out on this second half, perhaps you see a little bit of that coming out in this second half. Hey, just want to take a opportunity and remind you that Hawaii Sports Radio Network has partnered with Scoring Live to bring you the best overall coverage of high school sports in the state. Visit scoringlive.com for live scores and stats, photos, league schedules, and more. Love our friends over at Scoring Live, who really are the place to go when it comes to Hawaii high school football results. And speaking of those results, just a look around the islands right now. 25-0 Aiea leads Castle in the second quarter. Waianae up 3-0 over number 11 Waipahu also in the second. St. Louis up over KS Maui 49-0. Taking out some frustrations after how last week ended for them. Waiakea up 7-0 in the fourth quarter as well. And few finals already. KS Kapalama 31-20 over Warren. That one on the continent, 31-20 victory for the Warriors. Pac-5 earlier on our airwaves, 42-6 over McKinley. And then Damien, number 12, Damien at Mojave, 28-6 the victory. Shout out once again to our friends over at Scoring Live. And when we come back, second half action on the way as the Farrington Governors looking to hold on to a 7-point lead over Rancho Mirage. Don't go too far. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
DSC Hawaii, a proud supporter of OIA sports on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, is a locally owned and operated union electrical contracting company. Established in 1988, DSC Hawaii provides services to general contractors, building owners, property management companies, architects, and engineers. Their commitment to the electrical industry is focused on quality, efficiency, and most importantly, customer service and satisfaction. DSC Hawaii, providing quality work in a most efficient manner.
Saturday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. The regular season is in sight as the Dallas Cowboys host the LA Chargers in the preseason finale. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Jesse Holly, and me for all the action as Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys get one final tune-up against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers in the final preseason game. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
On Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I love this song! I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
180 over 111, and I had a stroke. I couldn't speak or walk.
This is high blood pressure. Get back on your plan. Go to loweryourhbp.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is head coach Lincoln Riley. You're listening to HSRN 95.1 FM and AM 760. Proud supporter of the USC Trojans. Trojan fans, we cannot wait to see you in the Coliseum this fall. Fight on.
Here at Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium as halftime just about pow. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you game 2 of 2 tonight on the HSRN Waves. case you missed it, first up we had Pac-5's 42-6 win over McKinley, followed up now by a 7-0 halftime lead for number 5 Farrington over visiting Rancho Mirage from California. And starting things out here in the second half, Michael, Farrington looking to receive the ball and already up 7 points. It makes you think back to that final possession of the half for the Govs and think how nice it would have been to stack even just a few more points on top. At least an opportunity to still do that as second half begins.
Yeah, a missed opportunity, but kind of expected if you don't have your top running back in Kingston Samuelu, who I can't confirm, but I do believe he might be out for the night. He's getting attended to. Last I saw when I was near the sideline, he had an ice bag near his left collarbone clavicle area, and it appears that his night might be over.
And that is not good news for Farrington, even further past tonight if it does take out the standout running back as the kick goes long, fielded by Chanson Smith. He's got a hole. He's out past midfield, gets a block, out past the 30, one man to beat, and it's going to be tugged out of bounds at the last second. An excellent job by Rylan Warfield, the senior outside linebacker, to save what would have been a kick return touchdown for Chanson Smith for Farrington, but the Govs kick off the second half with a bang already into the red zone here inside Rancho Mirage territory.
Yeah, he caught that ball near the 4-yard line and brought it down all the way towards the 17-yard line in Rancho Mirage territory. So I believe that that is a gain of about 33 plus 46. My math says that's a 79-yard kickoff return for Chanson Smith.
My math also says that. I haven't taken a math class since my junior year of high school, though, so I don't know if I'll trust mine. I'll definitely trust yours, though. A 79-yard kickoff return, and now all of a sudden the Farrington offense in business. Handoff here goes to Jacob Talamoa off the right side through a hole for about 2 or 3 yards. A short gain for Talamoa puts the Farrington offense at the 15-yard line of the Rancho Mirage Rattlers. 7-0 early going here in the third quarter. Farrington already ahead into the red zone following the 79-yard kickoff return by Chanson Smith. Fa'avi takes the snap, drops back, looking to his left, finds... as a big hit taken out by the legs. It's going to be Ku Ponciano coming up with a catch before getting his legs taken out from under him. Sets up a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for Farrington. Handoff quickly goes up the middle to Talamoa. And still fighting is Talamoa. Going to finally be whistled down at about the 1-yard line. And it'll set up 2nd and goal from very short now for Farrington on the doorstep of punching home their 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, there is some penalty at the end of that play, so we're going to see what the officials call. Looks like they're still trying to get it sorted out. But when Farrington has been able to go quick, that's when they have found success without Samuelu in the lineup there. You had about a 6-yard completion to Ku Ponciano, who gets uplifted near the 5. And now Jacob Talamoa takes it inside the 2-yard line. And it's 1st and goal, but the officials need to make a call. There was flags out there, but I fear it might be coming back against the Govs.
And your fear looks to be correct, as the Governors are called for holding. And it'll remain 1st and goal, but now instead of inside the 5, it'll be backed up outside the 10. And from the just inside, we'll call the 11-yard line of Rancho Mirage, Farrington will once again try 1st and goal.
Yeah, so I think because it's a 10-yard penalty for the hold, that's why it goes back 10 yards. So I guess they're saying the hold was at the 1-yard line, but now when the FAR officials motioned over to the white hat, these officials, they gotta get it together.
And it looks like they've got it together now. They've started winding the clock. Under 11 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Just out of halftime, Farrington leading 7-0. Movement on the left side. Farrington wanted a flag, still doesn't get one. Looking over to the sideline for the call from the coaching staff. And some confusion for the Governors. Fa'avi clapping his hands. Ready to go now. Takes the snap, drops back out to his left. He finds Talamoa, gets to the 5, breaks a tackle, spins his way down to about the 3-yard line. Jacob Talamoa out of the backfield doing a good job getting back the yardage they lost, and another late flag from these officials. And it looks like once again it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against Farrington.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob Talamoa, he's kind of been the unfortunate recipient of a lot of these unsportsmanlike flags off the play, but to me that was just a bang play with him and Jeremiah Johnson, who's another stud for Rancho Mirage. That's just two guys competing.
And I believe that is Talamoa's second. According to the officials, that is the second unsportsmanlike penalty called against at least a player on Farrington, as a chorus of boos comes from the Farrington fans, and that is because of what you just mentioned. A second unsportsmanlike conduct penalty results in an automatic ejection in high school football, and if that's so, that would mean the end of Jacob Talamoa's night to an already thin offense for Farrington down Kingston Samuelu.
And that also puts in Talamoa's status for next game against St. Louis in question too, because usually with high school ejections, you're not supposed to play the next game, but you are able to appeal, which I'm pretty sure Farrington will be, but these officials are really making about themselves tonight.
It has been a lot of laundry making its way onto the turf tonight, and some of that is on the officials, but some of it is on the players. The players need to understand how officials are calling the game, and we've seen all of these officials tonight quick on throwing the flag, especially for unsportsmanlike conduct. We saw multiple called on Farrington. We've seen one called on Rancho Mirage as well. Either way, a terrible penalty for Farrington pushes them back to the 22-yard line, or pardon me, the 17-yard line of the Rattlers. Second and goal. Fa'avi drops back, complete over the middle for a touchdown. Streaking wide open is Ku Ponciano, and after all the hoopla, it'll be a touchdown for Farrington. And as I say that, another flag comes flying in after the play. But as of now, a touchdown to Ku Ponciano of Farrington with 10:06 remaining here in the third quarter. So on the call,
the touchdown should stand for an 18-yard touchdown pass to Ku Ponciano, who ran a really solid route. I don't believe that the Farrington Governors employ versions of the run and shoot, but that was a great play by Ponciano running in there, and Fa'avi hitting him underneath two defenders. It looked like it was in double coverage, but if the quarterback and receiver is on the same page, that throw was on the money. And if there's any consolation prize for Farrington with these penalties, is it's forcing your offense to be able to execute in the passing game, where normally when you have first and goal situation, that's ground and pound time. But for Farrington, I'm just trying to be positive because there's penalties all over the place, and I don't know what that. I mean, the play is over, the touchdown is good, but a flag comes out, and now you have the Larry Matthews, I believe, from Rancho Mirage on the other side talking to the white hat, and they just need to play football.
And that's the thing, is that eventually the storyline becomes away from the game, and that's the last thing you want if you're an official, if you're a coach, if you're a player, if you're a fan. And right now, players need to understand that a lot of calls are going to come on through for unsportsmanlike conduct if they continue to celebrate the way they have. And it's unfortunate, but tonight they're going to have to dial it on back. The PAT is up and good for Farrington. The penalty was accepted, going to be enforced on the kickoff. as Farrington now up 2 scores, but down 2 of their bigger offensive players. Can the Governors hold on to a 2-touchdown lead against visiting Rancho Mirage? We'll see coming on up. Don't want to miss it. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
Saturday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. The regular season is in sight as the Dallas Cowboys host the LA Chargers in the preseason finale. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Jesse Holly, and me for all the action as Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys get one final tune-up against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers in the final preseason game. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
On Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Back here at Edwards Skipper Diaz Stadium as Farrington leads Rancho Mirage 14-0. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you all the action of tonight's doubleheader of Hawaii high school football action. Kick is up and away, fielded by Jeremiah Johnson. He's going to break it out past midfield and gets hit along the sideline out of bounds, but not before he gets it into Farrington territory. Multiple flags fly. Stop me if you've heard that before, Michael, as we'll see another penalty called. And as of right now, though, Jeremiah Johnson and Rancho Mirage will start their first possession of this second half in Governor territory.
So I think there's actually 2 penalties on this play where there was probably an illegal block in the back on the return, but after the play there was also some extracurriculars with a Rancho Mirage player laying on top of Farrington's Donovan Bergantinos after the play. But looks like they're going to signal first down for Rancho Mirage, which it is, but where they mark off the penalties, that's another hold. But it looks like it's going to go all the way back to the Rancho Mirage 46-yard line. So not that, but there was 2 fouls, but I guess they were going to apply 1.
And if you are Farrington, you're happy about that because you sit here and you think about the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that you just had enforced on the kickoff. It's part of the reason why the kick was short fielded around the 35-yard line of Rancho Mirage to begin with. And now Jeremiah Johnson still feels like he had a big return. It just happens to be from the 46 as this one's picked off across the middle. Number 5, Masalo Salo's going to take it all the way to the house. A massive pick 6 for the Farrington Governors. And you want to talk about momentum, Michael. How about some momentum right there?
Great job by Masalo Salo going to the house, 49 yards, reading that RPO play. We mentioned it earlier with this Farrington linebackers. They were kind of getting sucked into the run plays, but they really need to watch those passing lanes. There, Masalo Salo read that to a T, took it up the right hash all the way to Paler, and now we have the makings of a Farrington blowout after that 49-yard pick 6 by LJ Masalo Salo.
What a play by LJ Masalo Salo. Like you said, reads it perfectly, jumps across, and at the perfect time takes it back all the way as Yanni Padilla tosses his first interception of the 2024 season. The PAT is up and good, and Farrington in the blink of an eye up 21-0 with 2 touchdowns scored in the matter of 11 seconds of game time. What a turn of events.
Well, what a third quarter. You know, I thought we've been spending like 20 minutes here, but there's only like less than 3 minutes of game time. And this game is not far from over. Rancho Mirage still has a chance, but momentum is riding on the Governors. And what do they say in basketball? Ball don't lie, And that time, Farrington able to take out their frustration. And I was kind of glad the officials didn't call a penalty in there, because the celebration was a bit excessive. But at that point, your play on the field shows like, hey, I guess you guys have a reason to be hyped.
Hey, I was going to say an excessive celebration, sure, for an extraordinary play, an excellent job by Masalo Salo to read the eyes of Padilla. He takes it back all the way to the house, and a 3-score lead now for the Govs changes things a little bit, and this is the comfort zone for Farrington and for Coach Mike Lafayette, who wants to run the ball and really use his bruisers up front. Now, obviously, that is typically as he has his full roster at his disposal. Kingston Samuelu not out on the field, hasn't been out on the field since the since the opening minutes of the second quarter, and doesn't look like he's going to return here tonight, but no matter for now, as Farrington leading 21-0. What an electric play, Michael.
And I think it goes to show you the adversity of Farrington, right? Past teams might have kind of called it quits after using some of your top players, and the penalties against you, you can get the feeling like, hey, we can't do anything right, but they're able to just do your job. LJ Masalo Salo read that well, and he had intentions to get to Peter, and he did. And now Farrington is up 21-0.
Up 21-0 and ready to kick it away as it's booted down inside the 12-yard line, and it'll be mishandled out of bounds, and that is not a penalty, Michael, because it was touched by a Rancho Mirage player. And just because Jeremiah Johnson was unable to corral it, now, since the ball went out of bounds at the 15-yard line, that's where the Rattlers' offense will begin here, trailing 21-0.
Yeah, Jeremiah Johnson had a pretty good return on the last time. I think Farrington realized that, so they actually used their PAT kicker in Cupanciano with that kick. And I think Jeremiah Johnson was not aware of the way the ball was spinning, and that's why he was mishandling it, and why the ball went out on the 15-yard line. So, again, momentum, everything going the way of Farrington right now.
The wind swirling here at Farrington High School. The Govs leading 21-0 over the visiting Rattlers from Rancho Mirage. Snap goes, handoff, back to Jeremiah Williams. Williams runs into a crowd of Governor defenders after picking up about a yard. Set up second and about 9 now for the Rattlers.
I think Farrington is probably putting out their best defensive performance so far in the early going of the preseason. Early on in the first half, we saw a lot of pre-snap motion by the Rattlers, but now they're not even doing it because I think Farrington knows what they want to do with that. So great job by Farrington and their film study, making sure that they are on top of things with the plays. But now there's a trip formation to the right side. There's going to be some action here.
Trips formation to the right. Padilla takes the snap. Pressure by Farrington. Hitting the backfield is Padilla, and he's going to be taken down. Multiple Farrington defenders there, but Zayden Maratarangi, the one who ends up finishing the sack. And Farrington has everything cooking here to begin the third quarter. Sets up 3rd and long now for Rancho Mirage.
Yeah, the whole Farrington defensive line was in the backfield. I think it was Peyton Tanovaso who had the first contact, and then you had Tamaso Ali Isione getting in there before Maritarangi, the future Rainbow Warrior, got the finishing the duties. So now it's 3rd and about 13, and if I'm Farrington, let's go get another pick 6 and make this a rout.
This is an opportunity to pin your ears back and go after the quarterback, but also don't want to let up a long touchdown either, as some pre-snap movement, and it's going to be a false start going against Rancho Mirage as number 5 Hines Verazes jumped a little bit early. The tight end stands at 5'10", 195. Jumped a little bit because of a rush up from a Farrington defender, and now a 3rd and long gets 3rd and longer.
Yeah, I want to point out that this is Rancho Mirage's first game of the year, while Farrington has already 2 books in 2 contests in the books. And one of the problems with the pre-snap motions is that timing is everything. There, that time, the tight end was moved a little bit early with all the pre-snap motion.
And that's an excellent point by you about the little finer details that you get to figure out in full game, as that one tossed down the field and it'll be intercepted once again. Zion Ziggy Vea coming up with the interception, the second consecutive pick for this Farrington Govs defense. And as you said before, this has the feeling of a potential rout all of a sudden for the Govs.
I really love what the Govs are doing right now. You know, in past teams, with the adversity, losing your top players, getting all penalized, past teams for the Governors might have unraveled and probably got into their heads. But, you know, with new head coach Mike Lafayette, he has this program going in the right direction where these guys are able to get their heads back in the game and make a play. We saw Ziggy Vea get penalized for a pass interference call, which I thought was questionable, but here he's able to get his get back with that pick right there to give Farrington the ball at the 31-yard line.
As you mentioned, that pick coming at the 31-yard line of Rancho Mirage. First play on the ground running, and once again running with some steam is Donovan Bergantinos as he rumbles his way for about 8 yards, sets up a second down and 2 to go as we tick towards the 7-minute mark here in the third quarter. Want to take this opportunity to remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Dial Electric Supply, Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier, lighting up Hawaii since 1972.
Big gain that time for Bergantinos for 8 yards. I do think the center, number 61, Isaiah Fonotti, is also being big right now.
And down, high pointing the ball is number 84, Princeton Samuelu, off a fantastic throw down the seam by DJ Fa'avi. And another touchdown for Farrington. That's their third this quarter. Their third in the last 5 minutes, Michael. And the route is on for the Govs.
And I see Farrington just jumping up and high-fiving each other. No flags. I think the officials are like, hey, let's get out of here. But, yeah, Farrington is piling it on. And they've been the beneficiary of having this home field for the majority of the preseason. Now, and, you know, again, Talamore was ejected. Kingston Samuelu potentially out for the game. But they're still going and going. And I think right now for head coach Mike Lafayette as well as offensive coordinator Kiko Willing, you like what you're seeing from Fa'avi.
And the line drive PAT is up and good, 28-0. All of a sudden, Farrington pouring it on with 6:50 remaining here in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to Hawaii High School Football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
DSE Hawaii, a proud supporter of OIA sports on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, is a locally owned and operated union electrical contracting company. Established in 1988, DSE Hawaii provides services to general contractors, building owners, property management companies, architects, and engineers. Their commitment to the electrical industry is focused on quality, efficiency, and most importantly, customer service and satisfaction. DSE Hawaii, providing quality work in the most efficient manner.
Welcome back to Edward Skippa Diaz Stadium, where Farrington has suddenly found their offense here in the second half, up 28-0, 3 scores since halftime for the hosting Govs. And Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you all the action here tonight as Farrington well on their way to their third win of the season, as Rancho Mirage in their season opener struggling with a few of the smaller details. A bit of a squid kick here by Farrington is fielded by number 19 of Rancho Mirage. That's Caden Prouty.
Making a tackle for the Governors, number 12, Giovanni Ciomani, and number 2, Everest Rodriguez.
Now for the Rancho Mirage offense, you just hope to start to get that rhythm you had at some points in the passing game in the first half once again, as there's 6:43 remaining here in this third quarter. You get to start out this drive from your own 35-yard line, and comebacks are going to be tough, especially with the way that this Farrington team likes to play on the ground with the rushing attack. But to start that, you need to get some sort of points on the board. That starts with putting up points right here.
Yeah, and Farrington, again, they're winning the battle in the trenches, and that's what it's coming down to. They just have size up there that Rancho Mirage cannot handle, and in the game of football, that's what it always comes down to.
Snap goes, handoff, Williams up the middle and immediately met by a pair of Farrington defenders. And no gain this time for Jeremiah Williams, the standout senior running back and captain for this Rancho Mirage team. And Farrington continuing to feel good and show off that newfound swagger they have this year as the number 5 team in the state of Hawaii, according to the latest Scoring Live power rankings. You can find those every Monday on our social medias at High Sports Radio. That's HI Sports Radio. Our Michael Lascaro always puts together a pretty beautiful graphic as Farrington looking to move their way up after remaining idle at number 5 since the start of the season. Read option goes outside to number 23, and a loose ball, and no whistle was there originally. The ball is out, and it's going to be a turnover. Number 23, Jamari Walker, ends up losing the ball before coming down to the ground. Didn't see who punched it out for Farrington, but recovered by the Govs, and the third turnover forced in the last 3 possessions by Farrington, and this defense has turned it up to a different level.
Yeah, there's just a slew of Farrington defenders there that forced that ball to come out, and defensive back Daniel Suya was able to pick it up and give Farrington, again, great field position to start their drive here in the third quarter, and we're barely halfway through. Farrington has an opportunity now to score a touchdown and get this game in running clock so we can get home earlier.
An incredibly healthy spot to start their possession here at the 39-yard line. Reverse action goes to Chance, and Smith will take it from east to west all the way outside, and looks like he'll have a short gain of about 3 yards as it'll set up 2nd and 7 now for Farrington, as the Govs continuing to show off how many different options this offense has this year. And tell you what, DJ Fa'avi has done a phenomenal job tonight as the signal caller, keeping a nice balance between pass and rush, and doing a good job making good, sound decisions, taking care of the football for Farrington.
Yeah, that little shovel pass on that jet sweep to Smith went for 2 yards, but I think Smith's a little banged up too. He came out of the game holding his right elbow, so that's something to watch.
Fa'avi looking to his left, complete to that side. He finds Ponciano. Ku Ponciano once again has a touchdown catch already tonight. That was the first score of this third quarter for Farrington. An 18-yard catch with 10:06 remaining. That put the Govs up 14-0. This one, a 4-yard gain for the Governors, sets up 3rd and about 4 to go for another first down. Line to gain set at the 28-yard line of Rancho Mirage.
About 3 yards gain to Ponciano there.
Dropping back is Fa'avi, now looking downfield, looking for Ponciano, and it drops into his breadbasket and then bounces on out. Quality defense by a pair of defenders, and looks like Farrington wanted a unsportsmanlike conduct flag called right there after a little extracurricular celebration above Ponciano. Instead, it'll be 4th and 4 for Farrington.
It's just the universal DB sign for being strapped. I mean, because that was a really solid play. I mean, Ponciano was right there for the taking, but Jeremiah Johnson, again, one of the top athletes for Rancho Mirage, just a junior. So he's definitely going to be flying up and getting his name known in the recruiting sphere. But Farrington opting to go for it on 4th and 4.
And once again, in that little no man's land where you don't want to punt and you probably can't kick, as this pass down the field completed to Princeton Samuelu once again, and Samuelu makes his way up the field for another first down. It's going to be 1st and goal for Farrington once again, barring a flag here in the backfield behind the quarterback. And it's going to be coming back after a holding call goes against Farrington. Some dropped heads for the Governors after a big play on 4th and 4 would have been a conversion and set up 1st and goal. Instead, now 4th and long likely for the Govs, and you reconsider the chance to perhaps punt here with a chance to pin Rancho Mirage deep in their own territory.
Yeah, that would have been a 20-yard completion to Princeton Samuelu if it held, but the holding call brings it back. And I think now you just might want to punt, or if you are going to throw it to a spot where the defensive back is going to try and pick it off and treat that as a punt. But I don't know. It looks like Farrington is going to go for it. Fortunately, Chanson Smith for Farrington is back in the game, so he looks to be good to go after kind of getting shaken up a couple of plays ago.
His health is important for this Farrington team. And when it comes to health, Hawai'i Pacific Health takes the team approach to providing the expert care you need when and where you need it. Together, we are creating a healthier Hawaii. Deep ball down the center of the field by Fa'avi. It's going to be broken up as he was looking for the aforementioned Chanson Smith deep down the middle and couldn't connect with him. It'll be a turnover on downs as Rancho Mirage takes over at their own 42-yard line with 5:05 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Rancho Mirage actually had an opportunity to pick off that ball. There was actually 2 defenders going for it, and now they might be upset they didn't get the pick, but in terms of field position, that actually works out for the Rattlers because now they have 1st and 10 at their 42-yard line. So good fielding position for Rancho Mirage, who desperately needs at least a score to stay in this game.
And you're right, Michael. Time starting to tick down and get a bit thinner for Rancho Mirage here with 5 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter as the re-option is kept by Yanni Padilla, and Padilla will scurry his way up the field for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, pretty interesting what the Rancho Mirage is doing and how they relay the calls, because they're still kind of doing it old-fashioned where the quarterback runs to the sideline and gets the play from the coach or the play caller, while some teams now, they'll just have hand signals on the sideline to get that call in faster.
Spread offense here for Rancho Mirage. Two wide receivers on either side, and once again we get some pre-snap movement as it looked like number 62 for Rancho Mirage jumped. That would be Nathan Andrews, the senior 6'1" offensive tackle. And that is the call as false start backs up the Rattlers 5 more yards, takes away that 3-yard gain and makes it 2nd and 12 now for the visitors.
But again, going back to the way that they get the calls, right? If you're a team that has a lot of pre-snap motion, you want to speed up that process.
Padilla takes the snap. Pass out to Finnegan. Kobe Finnegan, who was active early on in this one, has been held a little bit quieter here in this 3rd quarter, and that's part of the reason, Michael, that Farrington's been able to open up this 28-0 lead.
Yeah, he kind of was moving around a lot in these pre-snap motion. He even received a backward pass to throw a trick play, but nothing going there for the Rattlers. I'm surprised. I mean, it is still early in the season, so you don't want to show off your bag of tricks too soon. But again, you're playing in Hawaii. You want to go out to win this game and not just have it be a vacation.
Yeah, this is not just a vacation trip for this Rancho Mirage team. This is one where you wanted to compete and show yourself off against one of the top teams in Hawaii, and thus far it has been all Farrington as the screen pass set up for Jeremiah Johnson is incomplete. Makes it fourth down now. As still, it's been a struggle all night on offense against this stout and talented Farrington defense.
Yeah, Farrington did a really great job blowing up that screenplay, and the way you blow up a screenplay like that is you have to be physical at the line of scrimmage with your secondary, and that, Everest Cole Rodriguez was the one that kind of helped set that up, as well as Daniel Suyat. So these not only are Farrington physical in the trenches, but they're physical in the defensive backfield.
4th and 9, set up for a punt, and it's blocked! Punt is blocked by Farrington.
Punt is blocked.
And it's going to be recovered by number 52. That's Julian Scanlon. And what a nice job by the Farrington special teams. It feels like the only unit that hadn't gotten in on the fun, and even they had a big return from Chanson Smith earlier. So now punt team gets in on the action, and 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of Rancho Mirage for Farrington. Another opportunity to perhaps get this clock running.
Yeah, I don't think even that ball was blocked by a Farrington player. I think the personal punt protector got pushed into the line of fire of that kick, and where Julian Scanlon, he had some intentions to get to the end zone. But again, we're still in the third quarter, but a lot has happened. Farrington, I believe they have 2 interceptions. One went for a pick 6. They also scored a bunch of touchdowns, and they forced the fumble and recovered it, and they also have that block punt. So everything going for Farrington right in this third quarter.
Trips right to the right for Farrington, and it'll be a handoff instead to Donovan Bergantinos, as the back will pick up just a yard. Makes it 2nd and 9. Make it 2nd and 8 as they move an extra spot. Under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. Farrington leading Rancho Mirage out of California 28-0. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you all the action tonight here in a doubleheader of Hawaii high school action. 2nd and 8 for Avi. Drops back, takes the snap, looking to his left, and will find a wide open receiver. Number 8, Joa Mossman worked his way open, and Fa'avi worked his way through his reads. A beautiful pitch and catch, and a 30-yard touchdown for Farrington makes it 34-0, 35-0 pending a PAT, which would start the clock on running.
I love the pocket presence for DJ Fa'avi there. He was kind of pressured, kind of get pushed back, but he stood tall. And when he did fire that pass, he did take the moment to gather his feet, to get some arm trick on there. And that was a beautiful pass into the end zone for Mossman, who kind of living up to his name, Mossman, where he's in the end zone. But great job. I think this is a coming out party for DJ Fa'avi. Even though he has those 2 picks against Finnegan, he has shown some improvement in this game and showing why he can be the starting quarterback for the Governors.
And the PAT just squeaks through the uprights, and it'll make it 35-0 with 2 minutes and 29 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And Michael, what a performance out of halftime for Mike Lafayette's Farrington Governors team. Up 7-0 going into the break through a back-breaking interception just before halftime to blow what was a golden opportunity to add on, and instead, now down. We're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on HSRN.
KGU AM K236CR Honolulu is the Hawaii Sports Radio Network on 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And as this third quarter goes on, Michael, 4 touchdowns since halftime for this Farrington team, and they've come in a whole bunch of different ways, whether it be a pick 6, whether it be through the air, whether it be allowing that running game to get them close There's been everything and anything, including a blocked punt now for the Govs as well, as they're trying to show off that they belong in that top 5 of all Hawaii high school teams in a loaded open division.
Yeah, and I keep saying the praises of Fa'avi because, he lost his top receiver in the game, and Jacob Talamo, off an ejection of an unsportsmanlike conduct play. But, he's dishing it out. I believe he's thrown 3 touchdown passes in this quarter alone to 3 different receivers, whether it be Kupantiano or Princeton Samuelo and now Joel Mossman. Fa'avi is showing a lot of things impressive today.
And now Farrington going to recover the kickoff. The Govs boot it far, but the wind holds the ball up in the air, stops it at the 25. And man, oh man, everything going the way of the Govs tonight.
Wow. We had some clouds earlier in the game, and it's clear skies right now. But what they say? They say when it rains, it pours, and it is pouring on this Rancho Mirage team that is kind of looking like, hey, we're getting worn out. But Farrington, they have some life, and again, credit to Coach Mike Lafayette and his squad because they had some adversity coming out of halftime with their running back being hurt, probably out for the game, and then their top receiver ejected from the game. There was a chance where there was some mental fortitude that they needed to show, and they showed it.
Who you are comes out in moments of adversity, and there's been plenty of adversity tonight for Farrington, like you said, and it hasn't mattered. Their best football has almost come after they've had to face it, and that, like you said, is the sign of a really good team. This Farrington unit in the first year under head coach Mike Lafayette looking to make a statement and doing so here tonight. Had 2 dominant wins to start their year. Beat Kapa'a in week 1 35-12, and then last week 41-14 over American Samoa's Tafuna. And this week, even tonight, the best performance thus far for Farrington. Chanson Smith catches one on the near sideline and works his way up into the 10-yard line of Rancho Mirage, and it looks like it'll be 1st and goal once again for Farrington as this clock continues to tick.
But yeah, after that 4-yard run by Bergantinos, we have what appears to be a 10-yard pass to Chanson Smith, but there is some penalty in the field right now. Remains to see what that is for.
Oh goodness, with all the flags here tonight, it feels like it's hard to keep track. We're waiting the call from the Whitecap on what the penalty is. Clock is stopped with 35 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and looks like we'll get an announcement here as we get a personal foul against Farrington.
Personal foul.
And that'll back up the Govs after the 10-yard gain from Chanson Smith. And instead, looks like a loss of down. And it'll make it 3rd down, according to the down marker on the far sideline. So instead of a 1st and 10 from the 10, it'll now be 3rd down and 12 for the Govs, as the clock back ticking once again. And curious if Farrington just allows this one to run out here in the 3rd quarter as we're to the running clock. DJ Fa'avi takes the snap, won't wait for the end of quarter, drops back and uncorks a throw that just comes up a little bit short. Looks like it slipped out of his hands a little bit. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 12 now from the 25-yard line. When we come back, as the end of the 3rd quarter's here, Farrington pours it on in the 3rd. 4 touchdowns for the Govs, as it's 35-0 for Mike Lafaelle's team. Don't want to miss the 4th quarter of this one. Domination by Farrington. This is Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather round, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
Childhood should be the happiest time of life. For many, sadly, it's riddled with pain, rejection, and isolation. But Mercy Ships is restoring hope to some of the world's most forgotten children through free, life-changing surgeries. No one can change the world on their own, but together we can transform it, one person, one child at a time. To learn more about how you can help, go to mercyships.org today.
Saturday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. The regular season is in sight as the Dallas Cowboys host the LA Chargers in the preseason finale. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Jesse Holly, and me for all the action as Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys get one final tune-up against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers in the final preseason game. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
On Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Dial Electric Supply.
Welcome back to Edward Skipper Diaz Stadium. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you all the action as Farrington up 35-0 over Rancho Mirage as 4th and 12 incomplete down the field, but once again going to get a flag after the play, and we'll see who it's on after some extracurricular between the offensive line, of Farrington and the defensive line of Rancho Mirage. Running clock now as Farrington up 35-0 as we've entered the fourth quarter here, and Michael, it's been all Farrington in the second half.
Yeah, the penalties declined. I believe it was just after the play, but there's a turnover and downs for Farrington. But, 35-0, goose egg on the scoreboard. I want to give a shout-out to defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Lassi Eselu for Farrington, as well as defensive backs coach Ray Sayers, defensive line coaches Ray Estelu and Noah Estelu, as well as defensive analyst Chaz Barrett. These members on the Farrington coaching staff, they were on the Waipau's coaching staff in 2022 when they won the OIA title and they went to the state championship. I was kind of disappointed that they weren't still on the team, because I know these guys can coach, and they're really going to be really happy with this shutout if they can maintain it.
And that coaching staff you mentioned, Coach Mike Lafa'ele has really put together an all-star crew, as a fumble on the handoff between Padilla and Williams bounces into, luckily, the arms of one of the offensive linemen for the Rattlers. But on a night where not a lot has gone right for the visitors, something finally breaks their way.
I mean, the quarterback didn't even handle the ball. I mean, the ball actually ended up in the center where the center was. But nothing going the way of Rancho Mirage, and that's kind of unfortunate for them. I know they have some intentions of competing in their division, but they just need to find something to build off of and not feel like they went to Hawaii for a waste.
And handoff goes to Jeremiah Williams. He cuts outside to the right, and there's a little burst from the senior back. Will pick up about 7 yards, and it'll make it 3rd down and semi-manageable, which has not been the case for a while for Rancho Mirage against this Farrington defense. So some quality steps forward for a talented team, just one that has run into what has looked like an absolute buzzsaw tonight in Farrington.
Yeah, and I think that was Williams' longest carry of the day with 7 yards. But Farrington's first team defense is still out there, so I know they want that shutout. Let's see if they can get a stop here on 3rd down.
And this is a defense that is very proud, allowing just 13 points per game across 2 contests. And in the backfield, making an impact once again, number 52, Julian Scanlon. Scanlon had the recovery on the blocked punt before. This time gets into the backfield and wraps up Jeremiah Williams as soon as he received the handoff from Padilla. And Yanni Padilla back to punt once again for Rancho Mirage as a miserable night on offense continues for the visitors from California.
Yeah, what was a 7-yard gain for Williams? It ended up in a 6-yard loss there on that. So gain of 1, net gain of 1 on that. But yeah, Farrington, they just really putting it to Rancho Mirage. And I think they want to build that momentum when they go against St. Louis, their first real test of the year.
And they're going to need to, as this one punted up and takes a Farrington bounce before it gets downed at the Farrington 49. So the Govs will start near midfield with their first possession here in the fourth quarter, or I guess second after the 4th and 12 incompletion to begin things here in the final period. And Michael, you mentioned St. Louis. How did St. Louis end up faring tonight, as we take a look at our scoring live scoreboard?
Well, they played their open division team playing against a Division II team in Kamehameha Schools, Maui. They won 49-0, getting all of their scoring in that first half. But a bit of a quarterback controversy or competition with Mose Lilo getting the start in the first quarter before Noah Lopes got some action in the second quarter. So I know they're still trying to figure out their quarterback competition, but Lilo rushed for 2 and threw for 3 more.
And ball on the ground here by Farrington. What has been a nearly flawless night for the Govs. Almost changes right there, and still awaiting a signal. It looks like Farrington able to recover it, but a mishap on the handoff there between Fa'avi and his back. And luckily for the Govs, they recover after a 2-yard gain. It'll make it 2nd and 8 after the fumble.
Split back formation for Farrington. This is a new wrinkle in their offense.
Handoff goes, and that is number 7, LJ Leofau, who cuts it back to his right, and a nice job there by Leofau, who gains about 20 yards or so on the cutback. A beautiful job, as the depth in that running back room on display for Farrington after Kingston Samuelu goes down.
Yeah, great run by Lauititi Leofau. You mentioned his name earlier in the broadcast as that nickelback for Farrington, playing a big role for in helping get the shutout and stopping guys like Finnegan and Jeremiah Johnson. But here, showing his ability as a runner, rushed for 2 yards, mishandled it, but now he ran for 25 yards and is rocking and rolling. Farrington, they're showing some things on film right now, because they got 2 defensive players in next to the side of Fa'avi and Ziggy Vea and Lauititi Leofau. So I like this package, but I don't know if you want to show it too much.
2 receivers to the left. Motion man goes out wide. Fakes, looks off the wide receiver as Fa'avi keeps it and will dive forward for a gain of about 2 yards. And that'll keep the clock moving. The clock continues moving for all but a few scenarios now at this point, as Farrington leading 35-0. Just over 6 minutes remaining here in regulation, as the Governors well on their way to their 3rd victory of this young 2024 season.
Yeah, good gain of 3 that time by Fa'avi, making something out of nothing. But I like that they're trying out different formations here.
And Fa'avi's pass out wide is incomplete, intended for Tanoa Lolotai. Lolotai having a conversation with Fa'avi about just what happened there on that play. Fa'avi led him a little further than what was expected, and Farrington will take a timeout here on 3rd and 7 with 5:35 left to play. We'll take one as well, as the Govs well on their way to another victory under Mike Lafa'ele, 35-0 here in the 4th quarter. Don't go too far. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
The phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait. Attention on the road, that's the only way. Phone's blowing up, but you're in the driver's seat. Ignore the buzz, keep your eyes on the street. No text back, no scroll, just let it wait.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Aloha, beautiful people! Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ule Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lescaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
You're listening to OIA Athletics on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Clock winding here at Edward Skipper Diaz Stadium as Farrington leads Rancho Mirage 35-0. Paul Brecht, Michael Lescaro bringing you all the action from tonight's second game of 2 as Farrington used a huge third quarter to open up this game and now looking to add on even another touchdown as the Govs working their way inside the 10-yard line. First and goal from the 6.
Yeah, we're seeing the versatility of Leofa as a runner. He had a big 9-yard gain to get the first down, and now another 5-yard gain here to take them inside of the 10-yard line at about the 7-yard line. So Leofa is showing that he can do it all, whether it be on defense or offense. Now he's taking that direct snap and the little elephant package that Farrington is employing. So again, Farrington showing that they have the ability to get it done in multiple ways.
And direct snap accidentally hits Ziggy Vea, and the fumble is going to be recovered by Farrington as Vea falls on top of it. It'll be a loss of about 3 yards, and it'll set up third down to go as you're right, Michael, they continue to go with this elephant package. Direct snap back to Leofau. Now he'll step back looking to throw wide open in the end zone is Princeton Samuelu. And for the second time tonight, Samuelu into the end zone for a score. 41-0 Farrington awaiting a PAT. And the Govs pulling out all the stops tonight against their visitors from California.
Great job by co-offensive coordinators Keola Willing and Nate Ilau. Those are very two talented guys in the realm of offense and whatnot. But I like that they have these packages. I don't like that they're showing it when they don't need to. Fortunately, this game is not on TV, but if you have scouts and all that, and teams like St. Louis, you have a good game. You have a big game against St. Louis next week. You don't want to be showing this, but again, Farrington able to put the route on, scoring 35 unanswered points in the second half against Rancho Mirage.
And make that 42 points overall as Farrington all over Rancho Mirage here with 3:37 left to play. And we'll keep it on here as I want to take this opportunity to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you in part by Dial Electric Supply, Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier, lighting up Hawaii since 1972. Also want to take this opportunity to remind you about Hawaii Sports Radio Network's partnership with Scoring Live. We've partnered with Scoring Live to bring you, the beautifulest people, the best overall coverage of high school sports in the state. Visit scoringlive.com for live scores, stats, photos, league schedules, and more as we continue to cover this 2024 high school football season. Scoring Live has all of your high school sports, including girls volleyball, and once the winter time starts, you'll have basketball starting on up as well, along with a variety of other sports. Michael, an incredibly fun night here tonight. Has anything else big happened across the islands in Scoring Live power ranking eyes, as obviously the new ones will come out on Monday for week 4? Anything big shaking up what is pretty status quo at the moment?
I think Waipahu playing Waina at Pro City in a kind of neutral game on on our friends over at Spectrum 016. Waianae, I know we've had some of the fans in the comment section wondering why they were dropped out from the top 15 after losing by 21 points to Kapolei, while some other teams got to stay in there after losing. But Waianae showing some case to why they are a contender in Division 1, leading Waipahu 13-6 in the third quarter. That is going to be the game to watch for the rest of the night. But I think Kamehameha defeating Warren on the road was impressive after falling a bit flat against Mission Viejo last week. Warren is a no-slouch school. I believe that's where the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers went to. So you know that they're going to have some talent there. And yeah, Waiakea finally be able to get a win over Kealakea, 7-0 final. That's the Waiakea Warriors' first wins since September 22, 2018.
Wow. A big-time drought ended tonight there, and a big-time performance from Farrington here as the kickoff goes deep to Jeremiah Johnson. He cuts it on back to the right side towards the sideline and gets out past the 30-yard line for Rancho Mirage. They'll start at their own 33 as the Rattlers looking to get any type of positive momentum going into next week after a tough showing here in the season opener.
Yeah, Farrington, they just really put it onto them, and Farrington had a lot of reasons to fold, but again, credit this coaching staff under Coach Mike Lafayette. Even though there's a lot of adversity that they're facing with, running back Kingston Samuelu with a bruised shoulder out for the game. Then you get your top receiver Jacob Talamoa ejected after his second unsportsmanlike penalty. They have withstood the adversity, and I am excited to watch them against St. Louis next week.
Handoff here goes to Jeremiah Williams. Williams weaving his way through a few Farrington defenders before finally falling down and getting taken down, I should say, at the 38-yard line of Rancho Mirage. Sets up second down and 4 yards to go. Clock still running, just over 2 minutes remaining here in regulation. Farrington leading over Rancho Mirage 42-0. Paul Brecht, Michael Lascaro bringing you the action tonight for a couple of OIA games, and that reminds me that Hawaii Sports Radio Network is proud to be the exclusive radio home of OIA Sports. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com and click on the OIA Sports tab for broadcast updates, games on demands, photos, and more. And man, do we have everything you could want when it comes to high school coverage. Our Michael Lascaro really working hard for you guys when it comes to photos, when it comes to recaps. Every weekend you can read what happened across the state of Hawaii for all their high school football teams on our website, hawaiisportsradio.com. Got a timeout on the field as we got 1:51 remaining here in regulation. And Michael, as we get ready to close up for the night, what are your thoughts on Farrington's performance tonight and what it means moving forward for the Govs as they move into, I don't want to say the most difficult part of their schedule, but the biggest tests ahead for them?
I like that they have answers, whether it be in losing some of your top running back, your top receiver. They have weapons in the cupboard to fill those voids.
Handoff faked to Williams, kept by Padilla, who will scramble around the right end and out of bounds for a first down. Penalty marker comes flying in from the center, and we will see what it is as Farrington fans chant, "You can't do that," assuming the penalty against the Rattlers. And their assumption is correct as holding is called against Rancho Mirage, but it appears that the penalty is declined, which would uphold the first down for the Rattlers after Padilla's 4-yard scramble. Little confusion on the far sideline and a conversation between the Whitecap official and the head coach, Larry Matthews of Rancho Mirage.
I guess he stepped out of bounds where he at the original line of scrimmage after that no gain, because I swear he got the first down.
Well, that was my thought process as well. They scampered across the line to gain, but that doesn't mean, like you mentioned, he didn't perhaps step out before he got there. And as of right now, the field marker showing 3rd down, and it appears that that is what it will be, as instead of declining the penalty now, Farrington will accept the holding call against the Rattlers. Sets up 3rd down and about 14 yards to go with 1:44 remaining. Reminder, you can follow Hawaii Sports Radio Network on social media for behind-the-scenes content, breaking sports news, and more at High Sports Radio across all social media platforms. That's HI Sports Radio. Handoff goes to Williams. Jeremiah Williams crossed the formation up the right side and tackled out of bounds after a gain of about 10 yards. And the clock back running once again. Sets up 4th down and approximately 5 yards to go.
Yeah, but I mean, I have no idea what's going on with the officials, man. The game's out of reach. Just let the play go. Nobody's getting hurt. But yeah, there's going to be a punt attempt, and I think that's going to be the last play of the game, as Farrington really doesn't need to run anything, and the clock is continuing to run. So, Paul, your thoughts on tonight? You know, fun vibes. You know, this is our first football broadcast together.
Extremely excited to get this opportunity with you, my friend, as we continue our process of getting better and bringing more and more content to the people of Hawaii when it comes to high school sports and college sports. The punt goes down and is fielded by number 2 Everest Cole Rodriguez, and after dancing around a little bit, Rodriguez will be taken down just before midfield, but not before another penalty flag comes flying on in with 36 seconds remaining.
Again, was there a penalty? Probably, maybe, but did you need to throw a flag? No. Like, the game's well out of hand. You guys don't get paid by the hour. You guys get paid by assignment. So extending the game, throwing flags is not doing anything.
And another penalty against Farrington. It'll be a blindside block. It'll back up the Govs for their final play here tonight, as 36 seconds remain on the play clock. 42-0 your score. Farrington leading over Rancho Mirage, and a dominant performance from the start of the second half on. After being up just 7-0 at the midway point, Farrington pours it on in the second half for a big-time win, 42-0 over visiting Rancho Mirage. One last snap on the way for Avi. Actually not at quarterback. It's number 6, Chanson, who will complete it outside. And that should be the final play of this one, as 20 seconds remain and tick down. Farrington will take a timeout, as Mike Lafa'ele's team trying to figure out how they want to close this one out. Already up 42-0 with 14 seconds remaining. And in case you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, either one of tonight's broadcasts, you can listen to all of our local play-by-play broadcasts on demand. Relive the moments of this game and others at hawaiisportsradio.com or wherever you get most podcasts, as we post all of these. This is also live on YouTube. Mahalo to you if you're tuning in on our YouTube channel, Hawaii Sports Radio Network, where we have now started streaming audio only for all of our OIA broadcasts. That is a new feature for us this new 2024-25 school year and season. Really excited about that, as well as we try and continue to provide extra ways for people to listen to their favorite players.
Yeah, and as much as I want to be upset about the timeout call, I know Coach Mike Lafayette is just trying to get some playing time and some rest for some of these backups. You know, Canton Smith had a 5-yard pass to Elijah Josiah Pablo, and now he's going to run and make it exciting. Or will he take a knee for a 1-yard gain?
And he takes off over to the left side You said takes down a knee, and the final seconds tick off the clock as Farrington, for the third time in 3 weeks, is a winner. 42-0 over Rancho Mirage from California. Confetti is flying here at Edward Skipper Diaz Stadium. And when we come back, we'll break down all of the exciting action as number 5 Farrington wins their third game of the season, 42-0 over Rancho Mirage. We'll be right back. You're listening to Hawaii High School football on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Gather around, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race options are available. Register today at hphwomen's10k.org.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the HHSAA and the Hawaii Interscholastic Athletic Directors Association.
Saturday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. The regular season is in sight as the Dallas Cowboys host the LA Chargers in the preseason finale. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Jesse Holly, and me for all the action as Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys get one final tune-up against Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers in the final preseason game. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
On Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Aloha, beautiful people. Wake up in the den with me, Ku'ule Agbayani, along with Paul Brecht and Michael Lescaro, weekday mornings from 8 to 10, right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760, or listen on demand at hawaiisportsradio.com. You can even watch the show every Monday on our YouTube channel. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481.
Here at Edward Skipper Diaz Stadium after pure domination. Farrington having fun here on this Aloha Friday. Paul Brecht, Michael Lescaro closing things out after the second game of our doubleheader here on this Aloha Friday. First one, Pac-5 taking down McKinley 42-6, and then in this one, Farrington one-upping Pac-5 42-0 over the visitors from the continent, Rancho Mirage out of California, the defending Desert Empire League champions. And Michael, I mentioned this at the top of the broadcast, that Rancho Mirage has struggled with consistency over the past half decade to full decade. After a great season, they've started to kind of teeter around 500 or worse, and this is continuation of that trend. Unfortunately for them, falling 42-0 tonight. A lot of it I think you can blame on a long trip to open up your season, and as you mentioned during the broadcast, facing off against a really talented Farrington team that had already had 2 games under their belt, and it showed tonight in their execution, both offensively but truly defensively.
Yeah, I think that's what you're going to come down to, right? Farrington's already has 2 games in the books, while Rancho Mirage is traveling across the Pacific Ocean to play their season against a Farrington team that has some dogs in their trenches, and that's where the game was kind of won, in the trenches, whether it be the big boys up front on the offensive line led by Ibaho P, or the front 4 for the Farrington Governors with Zayden Maratarangi leading the way for that unit. A lot of great standouts. I think there's some players that kind of rose up to kind of put on alert. We got Ku Ponciano, the wide receiver and kicker for Farrington, who's moving up the Ku power rankings, so to speak.
True.
Another Ku in the world out there. And then you also had guys like Laui Titi Leofau, who I thought overall was a solid player because he was really great in that nickelback position to kind of limit the damage and limit the pre-snap motion of what Rancho Mirage was trying to do. He also came on late and was taking snaps at running back, taking the direct snaps, and even threw a touchdown pass. But I think the player of the game, you have to go with Donnie DJ Fa'avi at quarterback, throwing 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers in that third quarter, where Farrington really lighted up on Rancho Mirage, turning a 7-0 halftime lead into a 35-0 game at the end of 3 quarters before eventually winning 42-0. He didn't have a perfect game. He did throw 2 interceptions, kind of had a risky one in that second quarter, and the one to end the first half. But what I like from Donnie Fa'avi is that he improved as the game went on. He got better. He started to not rush his passes. He started to stand tall in the pocket, set his feet, and make plays. And, you know, Farrington really needed him to step up with Kingston Samuelo, their top running back, potentially, or he was out for the rest of the game after bruising his right shoulder. And then your top receiver, Jacob Talamoa, who was ejected from this game. Now, Farrington still has an opportunity to appeal that so that he can be eligible for next week's game against St. Louis. But either way, Donnie Fa'avi is really stepping up and showing why he is QB1 for Farrington and for Coach Mike Lafayette's team.
It's going to be really important for Farrington should they want to get to the places they've talked about getting to, which is that state tournament, that state championship against some really quality open division teams. They're going to need DJ Fa'avi to step up to be able to compete at that top level, especially considering the talent in Hawaii. Jaron Keave Songopolatele, obviously, over at Campbell. The talent at quarterback position is immense. You have Keeney McMillan, who's currently out with an injury, but somebody who is very, very talented, and Tama Amison, also over at Kapolei. So to compete with the best, you need to have one of the best quarterbacks, unless you're Kahuku's all-star team, in which they're quite balanced overall. Mililani in that similar case. Farrington making their own case that they're in that group and they deserve to be in that group going forward. As I've said multiple times, tonight was a doubleheader. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcasts or want to find some of our older broadcasts, go on ahead and visit our website, hawaiisportsradio.com, or wherever you get get most podcasts, and go to Hawaii Sports Radio Network, and there you'll be able to find all of our broadcasts along with some of our recordings for Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ule Agbayani. You can catch every weekday morning from 8 to 10 now. That's a brand new thing, 2 hours of excitement every single morning, and man, we'll need it to talk about the excitement from high school football combined with UH football, and of course the NFL that is always reigning supreme. But we got to close things out here tonight, so in case you'll miss us until our next time, you can go check out our broadcast schedule on hawaiisportsradio.com as well to see where we'll be next with the OIA. Mentioned it a few times that we are proud to be the exclusive radio home of OIA Sports. Michael, tonight, really fun. Our first 2 broadcasts together doing football. I'll give you last word, my friend.
Was it really our first broadcast? Because I feel like we were rocking and rolling here, Paul. We need to do this more often. Shout out Kule Agbayani, our usual social media savant, back in studio running the board. Shout out Daryl for giving us some food that's hopefully waiting in the studio. Give a shout out to photographer for Scoring Live, Brown Bautista, who also shoots for Max Preps, giving us some quality behind the scene photos and content for us. And what a day. Shout out to Farrington. Shout out to Harold Tanaka and his crew. Shout out to PA announcer Donovan Oda over there, rocking and rolling over there. And, shout out to everybody.
Yeah, you said it and you hit it, because I wanted to, before we went, I hit all the mahalos, and those are our mahalos. Mahalo to Ku'ule Agbayani, keeping us on the air and sounding good in the studio. Our apologies once again for the brief technical difficulties we faced in this game. Glad you stuck with us throughout. I want to say mahalo to the athletic department and all the administration over here at Farrington High School as they help us get set up and bring you all the action here from the OIA and just from high school football in general. Mahalo to all the teams tonight on display, and mahalo to you, the listener, for tuning on in. We hope to have you once again as this season goes on. An exciting year of Hawaii high school football. All of it can be caught here on 95.1 FM, AM 760, or hawaiisportsradio.com, Hawaii Sports Radio Network. Mahalo to everybody for tuning on in. My friend and partner, Michael Lascaro, mahalo to you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend, and aloha.
You've been listening to the Hawaii Sports Radio Network special presentation of OIA Athletics and the featured Game of the Week on 95.1 FM and AM 760. Brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Creating a healthier Hawaii.
DSE Hawaii.
Providing customer value.
And Dial Electric Supply.
Hawaii's premier lighting distributor and supplier.
Tonight's game was made possible also in part thanks to the following: play-by-play announcers Paul Brecht and Michael Lascaro, and operations director and in-studio technical engineer Ku'ule Agbayani. Visit hawaiisportsradio.com for a complete programming guide of upcoming games and more. We now return you to regular scheduled programming right here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Gather round, ladies, and join us Sunday, January 26th at Kapiolani Park for the Hawaii Pacific Health Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run. Embrace a healthier lifestyle and enjoy a fun-filled day. Women of all ages and fitness levels are welcome to participate by running, walking, or jogging the course. And if you can't be there in person, virtual race